social shit, you know what I'm saying? Like, this is some social shit for everyone, you know what I'm saying? Like, I made this be myself, so hear me. I mean, like, we can pull that clown shit away. This some real shit for you. I'm spazzing right now, so listen, let's go. Yeah, it's in their bones, the thugs in harmony for the love of the money. Then fall victim for the cookie, then turn pussy, it's lonely. You said you hold it down when life get rough, we're here now, so show me. We move them losses to them wins. Heavy pounds, we make it ends meet. Converse with only few who make me feel like I've been 10 feet.
Evening, everyone, man. I hope you are doing well. It's been a minute, man. It feels like it's been a minute anyway. I haven't done a stream in a few days. Obviously, I didn't do the preview for the FA Cup game. I didn't really feel the need to. And then, of course, yeah, Liverpool ended up losing that game, and obviously I'll talk a little bit about that anyway. But first and foremost, big up to everybody watching, whether you're watching this live. I know it's late. I don't usually do late streams. I leave that for Hollywood Ends. But, you know, I said I've been a little bit busy. So I said, you know what, let's just chop it up. And, you know what I mean? Let's late night vibes, man. Late night vibes. Big up to everybody, again, watching this on the replay. Also, big up to the members of the channel so far. So Scraps, ENDZ, Honesty, LK, Steve, Carl, Hakeem. Big up to you guys every single time, and much love and appreciation as always for you guys becoming members of the channel. As always, guys, I've got content out there for you guys to be able to watch if you are a member. So make sure you guys go and check that out. Darwin, this is a live, bro. This is a live, my bro. So, you know what I mean? Say what you want to say, man. You know what I mean? Say what you want to say. But good evening to you, my friend. Hope you are doing well. Obviously, I didn't want to do this by myself. So, of course, I got hopefully a couple of the guys who are going to jump in this evening. First up, though, we got John. That's the one that you guys hear on the intro, outro, as always, man. Big up, John, man. Thank you for joining me.
Yes, sir. So good, so good. Yeah, man, all good, man. I'm tuning in from work, you know what I'm saying? And doing the graveyard shift, you know what I'm saying? But
come on.
Yeah, man, after I had to jump in the chat, man, just give my 2 cents, man, on this topic, because this is a topic that's like it's an interesting one still. It's an interesting one.
Nah. I feel you. Obviously. And the thing is, he puts it up in the back as well, because he knows already. You know, I had to get holiday. By the way, like, I have to stress this. This isn't my time slot. You know, like sometimes you might have Jerry Springer in the morning, and then, I don't know, later on in the day on a different channel, you might have Oprah or whatever. This is what it is. So, you know, of course, I have to bring, you know, the OG in the building. Bigger ends, man.
You say, man, feeling cold, man. Feel like this streamer trying to get rid of players early, G, bro.
Listen, the late night vibes. It's just chill. You say what you want. You know, over here, just like your channel as well.
Yeah.
You say what you want to say. Obviously, we hold everybody accountable. So everybody in the chat, everybody who comes on stream today, bro, you'll be held accountable. If you say something that's crazy and one of the guys ain't really feeling the tone of voice and all of that, then they'll pull you up. Bro. So
that's Alicia's my idol, you know. That's crazy.
But now, big up everybody, of course, in the building. Of course, ENDZ in the building. I'm not even going to put up the next comment because he started on violence. He didn't even say, "Oh, you know, welcome." Anything got just straight into, yeah, let's sell this, brother. So I'm going to leave that one to what it is. Obviously, got through that. Big up Liverpool videos. Hey, got told by Darwin to come and smash the thumbs up. Listen, Darwin, thank you very, very much. I appreciate that. Big up Dustin saying Chiesa. We'll get to that. Don't worry, Brad Pitt. Don't worry, Brad Pitt. We'll get to that. We'll get to that in a minute. My day's been good, man. My day's actually been pretty good. Got quite a lot done. Yeah. Don't worry. I got so much like behind the scenes that's kind of going on. So in due time, I'll tell all. But yeah, it's been good, man. I hope you've been well as well. Big up Cody False 9. Yes, I got told by my boy Darwin to go sub. Darwin, hey, listen, man, you're dropping assists. Hey, dropping more assists than you're dropping in real life, boy. So can't even complain. What does graveyard shift mean? You know, John, you tell him.
Basically, right now, it's bro. I'm in plantation right now. They put it that way. That's just it. Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah.
You heard it there first. He's in plantation.
Yeah, plantation. It's plantation. Yeah.
Yeah. We got Trent, my guy. I'd sell Diaz because he's turning 28. So now is the last moment to cash in on him. Before we dive into all of that, and before everyone starts going mad at the choices that people make and stuff like that, obviously I haven't spoken to many of you, obviously, ENDZ. I haven't spoken to John. I spoke a little bit, but not about the game in itself. Obviously, we lost. Yeah, cool, whatever. That's not even the part I wanted to talk about. For me, the way I've been looking at it, and it's funny when you're not engaged too much after, like, straight after games, and you take a minute away from social media and then you come back and you start to see exactly what everybody's talking about and stuff like that. I see the reaction to certain things. So I'm going to ask you guys, but you know what, before we even do all of that, obviously I have to bring, the gaffer inside the building as well. So let me go straight away. Big up Jerry in the building, my broski.
Shit.
Big up. What's going on?
Big up, man.
Guys, all their links, bruv, they're all in my descriptions. Don't be lazy. Don't be bums. Go and subscribe.
Who's that in the top right?
John.
Okay, big up. I thought
Big
so.
up.
I was like, what happened? Yeah, you can't see his face. I was like, I don't even know why I'm
Jerry's trying to police. Listen, let's start off. I'm going to start off with John, then I'll move to ENDZ, and then I'll go to Jerry. Obviously, we lost the game. Now, you guys, obviously, I didn't watch it. I only saw the highlights, and I listened to these guys. Anybody who ever asks me about games I don't see, these three more time, especially the two at the bottom, I will ask those two for their opinions on the game, because I know it's going to be an accurate opinion in terms of how the game actually went. I'll start off with you, John. John, in terms of the reaction, do you think it was warranted after the game, or how did you kind of see it, bro?
I'm already surprised regarding the reaction, because I caught the first half of the Plymouth game, but I didn't watch the second half because I just found myself getting a bit disinterested in the game, because I kind of saw where the game was going, and there wasn't really much within the play, so it was just very lackluster. It was a very lackluster performance, but I think the reaction from the fan base, it is warranted, but at the same time, it's like it's mad, because the reaction is almost as if everyone's kind of like, I mean, at least from my perspective, it's like everyone's kind of surprised that there's a lot of players that aren't really of the level. Do you get what I'm saying? Like for me, the only two it's crazy, because we're talking about there's always conversations about exits in the summer, and Kelleher and Endo were the only two probably players that could probably hold their head up high, whereas everyone else, and I mean everybody else from the bench, the jury is still out on a lot of players, but a majority of them have been there for 3 years now, and they're clearly not good enough. But yet there's a constant like, oh no, but he'll come through. Like, now he just needs game time, but now he just needs to get fit, and it's just so boring. It's really, really, really boring, and it's like, yeah, going back to the reaction, it is warranted, but no one can really be surprised, because a lot of these players, I think we're showing time and time again that they're not as good as what people think. I think they're good amongst decent players, but in a team like that, where they're given opportunity and they're not taking the opportunity by the scruff of the neck, whoa, it's a sticky one. It's a really, really sticky one, man.
ENDZ, I haven't heard you speak after the game, bro.
I did a video on it.
Yeah.
I didn't watch the game myself, bro. So busy over the weekend. I'm like you. I watched the extended highlights. So when I did my video, I was doing more the reaction of the fan base. And listen, I've heard John speak about players like plenty of times. I know like his feelings towards players. He's saying certain things. I'll listen to that. Jay, I've heard you. I've heard some people in the chat. But the way I saw the reaction was, bro, it was as if these other guys that played, they ain't done nothing for us the whole season, man. They just been there. And I was just thinking, when Kanate was injured, didn't Kwanzaa come in? Like, then people wanted to get Somerslide the team to play Harvey, and you know Jota. They were like, "Yeah, man, Jota is the guy. We need to make sure he's playing." And you know Diaz, you know, false nine, and we need to get Wataru in the you know on the pitch, and you know what I mean. It was get Robbo out. Simicas has to play, and now after one game, and that's what I said. I'm basing it off of the reaction of the fan base, not the game itself. So I'm not going to argue with anyone if they say players played shit. I only saw the highlights, so that's I'm not going to argue it. But it's just the overreaction where I'll have a conversation around. It was just mad, bro. Honestly, I'm just like, is this how we are after every? Like, I know we don't lose a lot of times, right? And when we lose, bro, like the overreaction sometimes is crazy. But I get it. Like, obviously, if we set targets in the FA Cup was one of them, and we get knocked out, that's fair, isn't it? It is what it is. But I do remember like sections and people saying like, "Yo, we need to get out of these cups because we want to go after the Premier League." But now we're out of it. It's like, nah, but I wanted to be in it. And then I even saw some of the like on Twitter and stuff, we were like, nah, the manager is to blame, and you know, you should have put a stronger 11 out, or you should have had some of the stronger players on the bench. I'm like, but you guys keep saying that you want players rested, bro. Like you can't have it both ways, man. You gotta make your mind up in these moments, bro. Like you can clearly see from the manager's selection that team was good enough to go and win the game. And also you can tell by selection is like, this man is taking the league seriously. He's like, I'm not playing none of my big boys in this game. That team I put out was strong enough to win. They just they weren't on it. They turned up against a team that was just on it on the day and was more hungrier for the victory, bro. And desire, energy, work rate, whatever you want to add to it, can sometimes beat, they say sometimes can beat talent. Talent can only take you so far. We had the more talented group, but these men had the work. These guys had people that was hungry and they wanted to win. Obviously, they had the home fans as well, so that obviously played a part. But yeah, some of our players didn't turn up. If they had a poor game, then they had a poor game. But it's not, as I said, man, it's not like we ain't been calling for these guys. So I can't hear after the one loss, all of a sudden, now let's just get these. And as I said, like I've spoken to John, yourself, Jerry, and a few other people. So I know we have certain players like, now get these men out from early. I know that part. But some of it, I'm just like, right, like, okay, so if we did just get rid of all of these guys then. Like, so when Konate was out with his knee injury, who came in to cover for him? When Allison, pulled his hamstring, who come in to cover for him? When Robbo was slipping and falling over, for a few games, who came in for him? That's what I'm asking. When they said the strikers can't score, who was playing the false nine? It was like, yeah, Slot found a little, gem here, and you're like, but after this one game, the man never just like, nah, bun them, bro. Raw, I said raw. And you're right. When you don't watch the game, like when you're outside of it and you're just looking in, boy, I imagine our fan base is crazy, bro. I can't even lie. We are a crazy bunch.
Honestly, man, that's why I'm gonna get Jerry's in a set. That's why I'm asking, because I'm just like, I didn't watch it, so when I'm hearing listening to the reaction, I'm just like, bruh, like was it that bad? Like that's why I have to ask you guys, like, yo, was it seriously that bad? Like that we, like, I saw the team, like I looked at the team. I'll be real. I looked at the team and just thought, bro, these lot should win. That was my initial reaction, straight off the bat. But listen, we didn't win. Jerry, chat to me, bro, man. This reaction thing, man, that everyone's on after the game, as ENDZ just alluded to something there, which is obviously about one of your guys. But this whole, like, everybody is quick to say, oh yeah, you know what, this brother, we found a position for him. This one game, for some reason, it just seems to turn everyone's opinions. And heck, you've even got think pieces, as you guys can see on the screen here, talking about man need to overhaul the whole attack and man. But yeah, chat to us, bro.
Yeah, I mean, as I said, football's a funny game, innit? Football's a funny game. Any of the forwards could have slapped a hat-trick in against Plymouth, and the argument would be, he's the best thing since sliced bread. We need to keep them. And that goes for all of them, right? But if we start from the top, for me, I always like to look at football from this lens. This is how I look at it. I'm not reactionary. I'm not emotionally invested anymore. Unfortunately, I'm not like a emotional fan like that anymore. I used to be. I'm not. When I look at it, I always try to find out, all right, why did this so-called supposed team, right? That apparently, and this is apparently, yeah, is more talented than a Plymouth, right? When however many of the squad, right? Chiesa can't play games. I saw him against the under-21s for Liverpool, and he looked like he couldn't do anything. You couldn't beat his man there, and as with the under-21s. A Ionny 17, right? Never played men's football, never had a season of men's football under his belt. McConnell, same thing, never been on loan, never had, men's football on him. A right back in Mabea that I thought was gone. I didn't know was still at the club, if I'm being honest.
Same.
That for me, he was there like 2 seasons ago. He hasn't played for a season. He has not made. I don't think he's even trained with the first team. That's how deep it is. So I'm like, what? Mabaya? I was like, why does he look so like wedge as well? Like, he put on size before. He was just. I was like, okay, like let's see what he's gonna do.
Just quickly, before you continue, did he come on and then come off again?
No. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I don't.
The substitution from the thing, and
He got.
Sorry.
Yeah, maybe he did, but you got substituted and stuff. But what you had, right? What you had in the game, and I think this is where, like, speaking about the reaction anyway, the reactions, I'm not surprised as expected, because ultimately people have high expectations. When you hear the name Liverpool, you're like, Liverpool, oh my God, yeah, like they should be, slapping these players. But then you start to break it down, yeah, and you're like, all right, cool, let's have a look at this Liverpool team, right? So you had Keller in goal. Now, Keller, fine, in goal. Do you know what I mean? We know what type of keeper he is. At right back, again, I know Gomez went off injured, but you had Mabaya, you had Kwanzaa, you had Endo, and you had Tsimikas, right?
Okay.
Decent backline, but Tsimikas, some people think he's good, other people don't rate him. Everyone's talking about getting a new left back, right?
Yeah.
So cool. You're not looking at him like that. Kwanzaa, we know this season he's had a mare, right? But you probably, if you spoke to him, he would admit it himself. He'll be like, look, I'm not at the level that I was last season. Confidence is a massive thing when it comes to that as well. Then you've got Endo that, people say he had a decent game. But what was decent? Because he headed the ball and blocked shots and stuff. That's what the man at Plymouth did. But cool, let's move on. Then look at the three in midfield. Elliott, McConnell, Ionny, right? Had all the possession in the world. This is where you see the levels in terms of what players can do when they're in possession, right? Ionny had played one forward pass the whole game that went off the pitch because Chiesa couldn't keep it on, right? Which is a good pass, a good little vision. That was the one time he dropped the shoulder, had a burst of pace and played a forward pass. McConnell just kept it moving sideways, left and backwards, but apparently had an amazing game because he had a chance towards the end of the game. And you had Ionny that was just more or less non-existent and couldn't really get into the game, right? You then relied on a front three, right, of a Jota, that when you talk about him as a forward, you talk about his finishing, right? That's what we talk about, Jota, his finishing. You got Chiesa, that is a pensioner for me. Like, he's really been damaged, and I spoke about Chiesa already. And you got a left winger that is mad out of form right now. He's just out of form. And this is someone, again, I'm a Diaz fan, but he's out of form, right? So when I was looking at the game and the tactic was, keep it mad slow, keep it round the back mad slow, which Plymouth want. No incisive passing because no one in the midfield can play those incisive passes, nor can the centre-backs do it, right? And then it's get the ball to Chiesa and Diaz and try and make them beat 3 man inside the box and wrap it into the top bins. Now, for me, that is not a sustainable way to play football at any level, innit? At any level, right? Especially when you're coming up against a team that for them, it's their cup final. And the onus on them when they go into other games. Remember, Plymouth is in English football. They're a big team, innit? Like they're in the football leagues. They ain't relegated. I mean, they're in the football leagues. They're a pro team, right? Not Liverpool size. So if they've just got to sit back and defend with 5 at the back, that's what they're gonna do. But this is where you talk about your McAllisters, your Gravenberches, your Diaz's when he's on form, your Salahs, your Trents. When you talk about the importance of these players to be able to break down these defensive little movements and getting into pockets. When you haven't got those players on the pitch, right? Possession doesn't mean shite. And just because you've got the best forwards on the pitch doesn't mean shite, because in the first, especially when you're moving the ball slow, you need to be able to go and find those pockets and find those things. Now, forwards didn't make any runs, but at the same time, the midfield couldn't find anyone at all. Like the navigation was off. There was no signal. No one was finding anyone. No long ball was successful. No wrapped cross was successful. So when you're looking at it and you're like, wow, like we got the forwards, but no one's getting it to them. And it got to the point where you had Jota as a forward picking up the ball from Kwanzaa to try drive the ball up the field. And that's not his game. Because we talk about Jota not being good on the ball. So when I start to break it down, I'm like, yeah, you know what? I know we talk about this team and you think like, yeah, this team is good. But it's not really. It's not really. And I then look at the reaction, right? And the reaction's all towards the players. And it's got to be to a certain extent because you'd expect more. And in an ideal world, you want Diaz or Chiesa to blitz, man, wrap it into the top bin and be like, yeah, bro, like this is just too easy. But football's not like that, yeah, at any level. And the gap, when you're talking about just setting up a team, you saw it with Tamworth and Spurs the other day. They kept them out for ages, just defending for their lives. Once the first goal went in, then obviously the floodgates open. But Slot, no contingency plan. He's bringing on players that I've never heard of in my life. Like he's bringing on another brother called Trent, and I thought Trent's coming on because I'm not watching the game properly in the second half like John. All of a sudden, I'm like, Trent, who? Who's that? Some brother, no shoulders, popcorn diet, didn't affect the game at all. And I'm like, you know what? There needs to be a blame on the manager, you know.
He's young.
So when it comes to this reaction, right? This reaction's cool. But what are we talking about the manager? Because if the manager, as to ENDZ's point, right, when it was Spurs, he didn't do what a Klopp did and just rotate the whole team and put Kelleher. No. That was the first team that played, right? Today, you could have kept Verge on the bench. You could have had Salah on the bench. Salah don't break down. Salah don't need a break. Like, let's be honest, Salah don't need a break, right? Liverpool aren't running like they did back in the day. These players could have been on the bench. We've seen it with Spurs. When they had to rotate their team and they've got mad injuries, all their first teamers were on the bench. That's a Maddison, Kulusevski. They were on the bench. What did Slot do? He didn't take it seriously. And do you know what he did? He learned that, you know what? In these competitions, you got to you got to have a contingency plan. It's not going to be like Holland where you can just run out any random players and the gap is mad big. Because Slot after the game is talking to me about, it's difficult because they're playing long ball. You knew they were going to play long ball. Like, you should have known they were going to play long ball. But if you're in the English game, you're going to know that they're going to sit back and they're going to play long ball. Like, everyone would have expected that. But he's the only one that didn't. So he will talk about and be like, yeah, we've got all these players that can keep the ball in midfield and he's tidy. Where's the incisiveness? Where's the bravery? Nowhere to be seen, though. And that, for me, is where the difference was. We lost the battle in midfield. It wasn't about, like, the football, because bear in mind, we conceded one goal.
Yeah.
We conceded one goal. But the battle was what? They caught us on a counter. We didn't stop their counters. We couldn't penetrate. Anytime we made a forward pass, we lost the ball. So these men that you want to score the ball, they're not getting the ball. So now they're having to get the ball from deep and run through 5 men. I'm looking at Slot. I'm looking at it for Slot personally. Me personally, when we talk about reactions, right? I watch the game. I don't go on Twitter after games. I sit down and analyze. And this will be my final point. It's like, brother, like, there was nothing from you today. Like, you couldn't make any. There was no change you made to affect the game. Nothing you did affected the game. And it was the perfect game for Plymouth. And that for me is where the biggest problem was. And I wasn't even that fussed, but I was like, cool. Like, we know what these players are. You've got an off-form Diaz, the Chiesa dead. I mean, like, Jota's not fit. And then that midfield, we know what 𝐒𝐔𝐁𝐒 is. We know what he can provide you. Kwanzaa's been shit. And I rate him, but Kwanzaa's been shit. Endo was all right. My man is saying he's had a great game. For doing what? For clearing the ball. Where was his incisive? This is why he don't play games. No, but this is why he don't play games. But this is why. But us as fans, as a general consensus, we're saying, but you had a good game. But this is why he don't play games. Because what effect did you have? Whereas I've seen Gravenberch play at centre back and pop into midfield and look effective when we're a man down, and that's the difference. So they're decent players, but this is what happens in the FA Cup, and it's as simple as that. I think the reaction just got to be that. Personally, sorry about my monologue, man. All you man have spoken about it and been on streams. I heard ENDZ. I just have to say my two piece. But
No,
boy,
you got man trying to get nah. Do you know what? Jerry,
Go on
the
then, go.
waste man. Because this man earlier, bro, was getting said that his look like Gomez.
Who said that?
Jerry, bro.
I told him
Earlier,
ends
bro,
Gomez.
when I was in Hussam stream, bro.
Just on Gomez though. Again, I saw obviously he come off injured, and then I watched like I saw what actually happened in terms of he sprinted. Then it's like it's like he didn't want to continue sprinting. You could see that I need to ease up, and then I think the guy played the ball into the box or whatever. Nothing happened. But just on Gomez, bro, like what is like the next thing for him moving forward? Obviously, we don't know in it, and obviously we are in the midst of a season. I get that, but just in terms of just forward thinking, what does it look like for someone like him?
We gotta cut our losses. We gotta cut our ties with him, man. It's as simple as that. It's done. It's done. I mean, we should have done it last summer. We really should have done it last summer. We were talking about like what 50, 40 mil. Just take the money, man. Because he's never gonna catch a break of all these injuries. And if there was ever a time to cash in on him, it was last summer. Now that this summer coming, if he's one of those players that is gonna be let go, like what are you gonna get for him now? Do you know what I'm saying? Like, and it's just, but at the same time, to kind of not back him, but one thing I will say is, and this is where I have to put like the blame on the club, because I think there's just total negligence in terms of, because I always have a thing of players have a duty of care at the end of the day. So when you're leaving the squad thin in certain positions to where you're having to rush man back when they're not ready, this is what happens. Do you get what I'm saying? So, and then it's like, and this is what, and I was just thinking about this the other day, not the other day, after the Plymouth game, because when I read the team sheet, I said to myself, for one, like obviously this is the FA Cup, and I hold that at higher regard than the Carabao Cup. So I was even shocked to see how weak the lineup was. It was kind of it mirrored the PSV game a little bit in terms of the lineup. So there was that. But then I also thought, you know what? Could it be a thing of Slot is not even, he's not confident. He's not confident in the squad that much to where he feels we can compete on all fronts. Hence why he's put out a team like that. Going forward, like I was just thinking about that, because maybe he's not fussed about the FA Cup because he feels like squad depth wise, maybe he doesn't feel like we have the quality to withstand the duration of the season to compete on all fronts with these trophies. So I was just one thing I was thinking of.
It's crazy because I was listening to obviously a lot of people similar thought to what you're saying here, John.
Yeah.
But then I was like, nah, but I swear we played like similar teams against like Brighton and stuff like that in the League Cup. And we're talking about a higher caliber of team. And now I went back and looked here. We had Bradley, Kwanzaa, Gomez, and Robbo, and Jaros in goal. That was our back five.
We played Jaros in goal.
Yeah.
And then our midfield was Endo, Morton, Diaz, Gakpo, Curtis Jones, and Sabo. On the bench, we had a better bench, to be fair, but Salah came on for a bit, Nunes came on, Ibu came on and got a book in, McAllister come on. So the bench was better. We still had like, you know what I mean? Just
you're still pretty weak and that sounds like it. Like it was that, and this excuse me, this is my kind of thing. Like again, I feel like you see the reaction that some people are having towards this game, right? I feel like it's not about this game though. This game was more the excuse you could give yourself to go in on the players that you don't really kind of fuck with anyway. Do you get what I'm trying to say? Like, so whoever it was, and listen, I'm not even trying to make it like a broad kind of statement, so to speak, but I feel like when I'm listening to certain people and the way that they're talking about certain players, I'm like, no, but you've always thought that. Like you're even using the same words that you use about this said player, but you're using it in this game. Again, I don't know, because maybe those things did actually happen. So I can't say yes, you're wrong, or no, you're wrong, or whatever. But sometimes I'm sitting and listening, I'm thinking, was it that bad? Like, or this guy was this, that, and the third, and You know, this, you know, I'm thinking, I feel like you've always just not liked him, which is, by the way, that is fine. Like, I don't rate some of the players too. I've told you guys many a time, so I get all of that. But ultimately, I feel like that's where the reactions almost, you know, kind of coming from. Sorry, it's gone.
Gee, nah, even looking at, and this is what I'm saying, bro, like, it's mad. Because I'm like, where was the same energy when we was playing these teams against, like, Brighton? Southampton, this was Southampton's team. Kelleher, Joe Gomez, Endo, Kwanzaa, and Trent at the back here. That's the back five. McAllister, Morton, and Trey. And then you had Gakpo, Nunes, and Elliott.
McAllister, Morton, and who?
And Trey.
And Trey was, so he was playing.
That was our midfield three with Elliott, Nunes, and Gakpo. And in around them, Southampton, no one was in there. Gakpo was the guy. He needs to be in the team playing. It was like, nah, get him out. Nunes, we already know, bro. No one likes him anyway. And then you had Gomez that played left back. Wataru played centre back with Kwanzaa. So, but we beat Brighton and we beat Southampton. But that the difference is because we won, no one cared about the lineup, bro.
Exactly.
The lineup we put out against Plymouth should have won the game, bro. These man them just weren't on it. They just got They just got bullied, man. Jay's right.
Do you know what the problem? Do you know what the problem was though? Yeah, you have obviously a Gomez that obviously comes off, but in those teams, right? Again, we speak about the midfield. Who was in midfield? Morton and McAllister. McAllister, seasoned that World Cup winner, and Morton, that's got 50, 60 games of pro football, playing for Hull, fighting for playoffs. Like that, man, I realize there's a difference between that and McConnell.
But Jay, here's the subs. Chiesa come on, Jota come on, Tsimikas come on, McConnell come on, and Jaden Dansbro in the Southampton game.
Exactly. But look at that bench. We had Trent, whoever coming on.
So
Trent the second. And Mabaya. No, but we had Trent and Mabaya that came on.
Listen to the bench, bro. This bench it had James Barry Norris in there. He got Real
Who's
in
that?
there.
Who's that? No,
Mallow. Yeah, I think he's like a midfielder. I think Yaros, Jaden Dans, McConnell, Tsimikas, Jota, and Chiesa. So bear in mind, right? If you started, say Tsimikas started, that means Gomez would have been on the bench. Gomez played. If Jota started, that means Nunes was on the bench, exactly like the last game.
Yeah.
Chiesa started, then Elliott would have been on the bench. And he played in the game, and the rest of them are bare young youths, bro. So it's a pretty much similar team, apart from obviously McAllister and Trent adding a bit of seniority.
But Morton's a massive one. Like when you're replacing Morton and McConnell, there's a massive difference in it. There's like whatever you think of Morton, this is a brother. Was it? Hold on, was he at Leverkusen? Am I bugging?
No.
He was gonna go late.
He was linked.
He was going to, yeah. But man was at Hull City, and the Hull City, if you know about the champs, done really, really well last season, you know, with the amount of money they had with Liam Rosenior. But literally messed up in the playoffs. Messed up. Remember that on the back of that, Cavaliers had a move off the back of that good Brentford, second half of the season, he's had a move to Brentford. So Morton was outstanding. Remember, this is what Liverpool fans were talking about this. Morton, you know, this is what we're talking about. There's a difference between him and McConnell. Having a train Yoni in there is all right. But again, you're coming up against a Southampton that's a different proposition to Plymouth. Now, because Southampton want to play. Southampton tried to play. Plymouth aren't trying to play. It's five at the back.
Do you know what it is?
Try beat us. Go on. You're going to have to go through us. Yeah? No pause. You're going to have to go through us. Right through the middle. Right through the centre spot. What can you do doing that? And that's where you start looking at who was in the midfield there. What did you really do? Nothing. Like, Elliott, rise. Creative man. Like, we spoke about this. Rise, but you didn't. The game wasn't... Plymouth aren't silly, yeah? You look at that team and you think, all right, cool. Where's the danger, man, then? Like when you ask where the danger, it's the forward line, right? But where's the real danger? It's out wide, isn't it? Because if Chiesa and Diaz, listen, I saw it with Diaz. When he isolated it, when it was a 1v1, he was beating his man. When it was 3 man on him, that's when it's like, cool. I'm playing it across into the middle. And Yoni, you've got to find something incisive now. You're going to have to take a shot. You're going to have to do something because I've drawn 2 man to me. What does he do? He just passes it to McConnell. McConnell gives it back to him. They shift across. It's a back 5 again. There's, like, it has to be a team. But when you're looking at, again, the midfielder you got, Morton, he played every single game for Hull. You have McAllister in there. That's a massive difference. And people don't realise. When you got Trent playing in that game, massive difference. Massive difference to Mabaya. Mabaya was hugging Kwanzaa. He was right next to Kwanzaa doing the same thing that Robertson does. So he had no outlets out wide. It was literally a flat back 4 with a free midfield. And it's like, go on, midfield, do something. That was the game. But Elliott didn't have the patience. And I don't know if you trusted, obviously, McConnell and Yoni to find him in those pockets. So you kept coming deeper and deeper and deeper. And then you were left with the back 4 and then the 3 in midfield that all came deep. And then the front 3 that were just there, just doing nothing. And when they were getting it, it was like, what do you want these men to do?
Bro,
and unfortunately, they're not Salah, innit? They're not Salah.
It's funny that you even mentioned that. Big up everybody, by the way. Guys, if you're in the building, make sure you are smashing the like button. Got a couple of questions here. Big up, guys. If you guys, any questions, bro, throw them in. I will start them and we'll go through them as we go along. Just on that point, big up Jon. He says here, thoughts on the fan base and rivals saying we are Salah FC after the game. How do you guys kind of see that? Me personally, I looked at that because I saw rivals saying that because they're like, oh, look, when they don't have Salah, they don't score goals and da-da-da-da. I was like, well, that's not necessarily true. He obviously gets the bulk of our goals, obviously, but I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't really call it Salah FC. We're not like Spurs with Harry Kane. It's not really like that in terms of outside of him and Son anyway. At the time when they were obviously both there, they literally, I can't even remember who else scored goals for them in general. Like I couldn't tell you. I'd have to go and check, but I could not tell you. And their team was, as Pep Guardiola even said it, the Harry Kane team, because you have this one guy who's like levels above like everybody else kind of thing. So which is fair, no problem. Harry Kane is Harry Kane. Liverpool, you got Salah, you got Virgil, you got Alisson, you got Trent, you got Robert, you got too many guys in the team for it to just be a one person team. Yeah, like so I personally, didn't really see that.
The Premier League.
Are they talking in regards to like output? Because if they're talking regarding output in terms of contributions to like goals and stuff, I can kind of see where that comes from. But if we're talking as a team in general, no, we're not Salah FC. But if it's solely just regarding that output in general, then I can sort of see where that's coming from, because I mean, take Salah out our forward line, then I think people are probably going to panic more than they already are doing right now. You know what I'm saying?
I don't know. I look at it, yeah, and I'm like, look, 99% of teams, innit? 99% of teams, apart from like the very, very best of all time, right, have one breader that does everything, innit? Chelsea have Cole Palmer. Do you know what I mean? City right now is Haaland. If you're not scoring, they're not doing anything.
Arsenal.
You got Arsenal and Saka. When Saka's not, do you know what I mean? You go and look at Newcastle. It's Isak. If Isak's not there, if it's Callum Wilson, all of a sudden Newcastle. Do you know what I mean? It'll be brazy when you break it down like that, right? Or you put Harvey Barnes in there instead. It's like, all right, what you man? Majority of teams are like that. You have to go to the greatest, like Liverpool, and like, do you know what I mean, that front three and Barca, Neymar, and you know what I mean, Neymar, Messi, Suarez, to go and look at it and be like, right, we're not even one man. Even then, do you know what I mean? There was worries at the time. It was like, Messi's injured. Who's gonna rise? Neymar rose. Yeah, he did. Yeah. But there was worries. That was Revista de Liga. Liam Balaguer was like, it's might derail Barca's season. Messi's out. He's injured. So enough teams are like that, right? Enough teams are like that. What happens though is naturally you become reliant, and your patterns become reliant on someone being there. Yeah. But in this game though, that wasn't the case.
No, exactly.
In this game that wasn't the case, because it didn't require that. Because it wasn't like we were getting it into positions and Chiesa was there, but he was doing the Nunes and fluffing his lines. He was like, couldn't trap a ball. He couldn't beat his man. He was getting robbed of possession. He had Diaz with 5 man on him. He beat 1, beat 2. Release it now. He doesn't because whether you don't trust man. I don't know what was going through their head. You got Jota that's just in no man's land and he's coming mad deep now to get the ball and try to do something. Like it was a bit like, bro. Do you know what I mean? And you're away. And listen, I don't know. I don't think that was when it doesn't make sense. You need to use that like Salah FC thing in another context. You can't use it in that game because all Liverpool needed to do, and this is why my gripe is with Slot. I heard Jones was ill, right? Cool.
Yeah.
Cool. You might want to rest Gravenberch. Put McAllister on the bench, right? Cool. You don't want to play Virgil? Fine. Put Salah on the bench. Put Gakpo on the bench. Take Salah out. Put Gakpo on the bench then. Right? All of a sudden, it looks a bit different. Put Konate. He's injured. Cool. Put him on the bench. Put him on the bench. You can have a runner. All of a sudden, it looks different.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, that game looks different. You put McAllister in that midfield or Jones in that, it changes the game completely, and you see the levels. But you didn't have that. You were bringing on Trent. What's his name? What's his face? I don't know. Trent the second.
That's what I said, Jay. You can tell. You can tell based on the manager's team lineup. He expected them to win, but the bench he picked, he weren't fit, bro. I promise you, he weren't thinking about no replay in this game. He was just like, man, them go and win the game. I don't care like that. I need to win the game on Wednesday. But this is my point. You see, but this is what I think. I don't. Of course, they're going to win every game, and you probably thought, yeah, this team could win it. But you've underestimated the FA Cup.
That's what I feel. More underestimated.
You've underestimated because City had a mad City off form, but you saw what was going on with them at Leighton.
But they've got a strong team against Leighton Orient, but like that was.
That's my point, and you saw what that Leighton Orient. Like, bruv, it's called the Giant Killers Cup. Like, if you know about it, it's like, right, Liverpool in the FA Cup have been poor, like historically, in recent years. So you've got to attack that a bit differently. I don't think he rated it like that because guess what? If you didn't rate the Carabao Cup, you could have easily played the kids in there. You didn't do that though. You didn't do that. You could have easily sacked that off if you thought, yeah, you know, the FA Cup's there.
The teams were too far off of the same though. That's why I was trying to make that point. The bench might have looked a bit better in one of the games, but in that Southampton game, the bench was dead food.
The Southampton game. No, the Southampton game, fine. I'm talking about the Tottenham game, the recent game.
Yeah, but that's a semi-final that you would expect.
No. But that's my point. I've seen Klopp sack off a semi-final before against Aston Villa. I've seen him sack it off. I've seen him go, oh, you know what? Play all the kids.
No. But
we had that Club World Cup team.
No. We did. But I'm saying he still decided to sack it off. And what I'm saying is, if Slot, to your point, if Slot went and really thought, you know what, we want to press in on this, he would have had a couple man on the bench. There was no reason for these men not to be on the bench. There's no reason.
He wants the Prem. He ain't got time for that.
No, that's my point. He wants the, what my theory is, yeah, maybe I'm wrong, right? It's just my opinion. When he's coming to Liverpool, he ain't expecting to be going for Premier League and Champions League first season, right? He probably goes and targets, maybe we can get a nice little cup and finish in the top 4. I'm going to be, that's my opinion, isn't it? He's coming to say, if I can win a trophy but get top 4, that's the main thing, right? Because we need to build. This is going to be not a rebuild, right? He's gone and seen how this season's gone. But the priorities change. And it's like, right, all right, cool. Yeah, the Premier League's mad important now. Whatever. We're not even risking that. We're not even risking the potential that Virgil comes on and, God forbid, he rolls his ankle or something like that. Like, we're not even going to risk it. Or he gets a head collision, like just something mad. Or just gets like a broken wrist. We're not even going to risk, no niggle. We're not risking anything. Which suggests to me you're sacking it off. And yeah, you play that team thinking, yeah, cool, I think these guys are going to do the job. But if they're not doing the job, what are you going to do? Every other team had a contingency plan. This guy didn't. So for me, he sacked it off.
Yeah, that tells you enough. But he didn't come with a plan B. He said, look, if plan A don't work, then screw it, bro. It's what it is. That's what he did. He said the rest of the man can get minutes in the legs, man. Trent and them, man, they can come on and get some minutes, run around.
What position does that Trent brother play again?
Can
Yeah.
play
I
across
think he's
the
a
back.
forward, isn't it?
Yeah,
Okay.
he can
But
play
why
across
was he?
the back.
Why was he at right back then? Why? He was
Okay.
doing something at right back. He was running. He weren't. This is my point. This is my. He's playing players that are like
Bro.
you're playing. Now the man don't understand. Yeah, like you
Right
can
back.
play
I didn't see
23s and be really good. You can play 23s and be really good, but you come up against a proper men's team and you can even go non-league and man, will struggle. You know, you see it because under 23 teams don't win the Papa John's Trophy and they don't win that. There's a reason they don't win it.
Yeah, they get bullied, man.
Because it's a different style of football. So when McConnell's getting the ball and looking all nice on the ball, yeah, you got to be effective though. Because what's gonna happen is you're gonna lose the ball, and man's gonna just go and spin you and turn you. And you ain't used to that because you're used to your position trying to go and play. Hence why I go back to Southampton. These men try to play, so it's gonna help them. It's gonna help them. You ain't gonna be able to go and do that against a Plymouth. They're like, no, we're not here to play. We're just gonna spin it. Spin you. One man's running in behind. If he gets it, then we're gonna go and follow you.
They got that
Your
center.
role is can you keep the ball? We're gonna get up, and that's what it is. As soon as we lose the ball, we retreat back 5, shift the cross. We don't stop the cross. This is basic football. But these men couldn't do anything in that thing, and I don't begrudge them because I never rated them in the first place. Do you know what I mean? I never looked at it like, rah, you're him. It's not like, do you know what I mean? Johnny's 17, but he's not Lamine Yamal 17. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Where you're
yeah,
like,
yeah.
no, it's a bit better. He's a 17-year-old kid.
Yeah.
So yeah, there'll be a game where he shrank, and he shrank in it, and it's not. I'm not going to blame him for it, but it's part of the game. You come up against a men's side.
Right, these are the. I'll get to that question in a sec. Do you guys think this is the end of Harvey's career? I feel like that's a bit. Like, yeah, that's a bit of a strong
career?
Yeah, I wouldn't say career. You know what? I'm gonna give you the benefit of the doubt. I'm gonna add Liverpool career. I'm gonna give him the benefit of the doubt. I'm sure that's what he meant to say. Do you guys look at it and think
Darwin the GOAT just say nah? I mean his career. I feel like
bro, his career. Like Donny can play football elsewhere, you know, like you don't have to end it. But yeah, do you guys, because obviously you look at Harvey Elliott this season, obviously he's been injured. I fully hear that. Remember in pre-season, ENDZ, we watched it, Jerry, we've watched it, John, I know you've watched it, right? We all watched pre-season and we saw what he was doing in pre-season, but also we saw the kind of role and position that he was taking. Remember, first game of the season, I'm sure my preview was Elliott plays. There was no Bozalai, there was Elliott plays. Obviously, time has changed and I can kind of see as to why, right? But when we look at it, in the January, there was obviously talks about him potentially going Brighton, potentially going Dortmund. Obviously, he's getting these kind of like minutes here and there kind of thing, you know, obviously played at the weekend as well. But what does it look like for him, like moving forward? Like, is it just keep him around because obviously good squad player to have and can come on in games? Or if from his perspective, how does he look at it? Like, he did come out and, to be fair, and say, I did hear after one of the matches recently about him saying, like, this is my club. Like, this is my club. Yeah, I ain't going nowhere kind of thing. And I was like, oh, that's brave. For a guy who doesn't start, that's brave, you know. That's brave. But
my club. Right, my club. Whoa.
Yeah,
You know that could change in a blink of an eye. You know that could change in a blink of an eye. All of a sudden, that Harvey 19 or whatever, it becomes a 47 somewhere. You know what I mean? Like
47 somewhere. Yeah.
You know what I mean? But like, it becomes a 22. It becomes a 22. Now, listen.
We said what he doesn't come under respect that he can't go somewhere else and get that 19. Can't keep that Harvey 19. No.
No. But he don't command anything, bro. He don't command anything. Like, he has to earn it, innit? And for me, he was the biggest disappointment. And it goes back to when I looked at the game, why I thought Liverpool didn't win, right? Because Liverpool were poor, but I tried to find out why they were poor. Why was Chiesa poor, right? But he was poor himself, but then why was he poor? Why was he not able to get the ball in certain areas? Why was it only towards the end of the game he looked like he was getting the ball in areas that were like, do you know what I mean? And cool, Plymouth dropped off. But the link between the midfield and the attack, who is that man? That was Elliott, bro. Remember, that was Elliott. Didn't do anything in that game. There was not one little get the ball, go slide rule pass, like slide. Do you know what I mean? Little reverse ball into the box, and then there was none of that. Man was getting the ball on the outside of like You would, bro, I could have done that. I'm going to be unfit, everything. I could have done that. Or fitter than before, but I could have done that. I could have got the ball and got it off Yoni and been like, yeah, looked all comfy. I need to be in the pockets, though.
Yeah.
That's where the real danger,
You're
man.
gonna get rust. You're gonna get rust up, bro.
Yeah, against the five at the back Plymouth, man. That's the difficulty. That's when you're talking about number 10, right?
Mm.
I remember in that game, that was him. It was number 10. It was
Okay.
that is your role. The free Romeos everywhere, right? Everything he was doing was that on the outside. Nothing he did was in between their midfield and their defenders. Anything. I saw Jota there. I saw Diaz there. I even saw Yoni there. McConnell, where were you, Elliot? Nowhere to be seen. And for me, that's the biggest problem he'll have. And again, I don't know what you man think. That's where he's supposed to play. He's not really a number 8. He's not really a winger. You're the 10. That was your game to show us why you're the 10, right? But you didn't do it. So now it's like, rah, okay, so you're not even like that guy in that position. If you're slot and you're looking at it, you're like, rah. All right.
That's the
Where do we
weird
go
part.
from here?
That is the
You know
weird
what?
thing with him. Sorry, go on. Yeah, go on.
I think I definitely echo what Jerry's saying, because you'd think a player like him, you're saying that this is your club. All right, cool. You've been given an opportunity to ultimately play in the position, your preferred position that gets the best out of you, to where you can now fully display as to why you deserve to be starting ahead of Szoboszlai. You know what I'm saying? And you can't even do that. You know what I'm saying? And it's not even like this one performance. Like, there's been a couple of performances where he's been given opportunity and he hasn't really, really like showed out. Like the PSV game, it was lackluster. Plymouth game, very much lackluster. You know what I mean? I can't even really. I've tried to, obviously, me personally, tried to defend Harvey, because it's like his performances last season when he came off the bench, he was always certain games he was just the decider, like the Palace game where he just came on and he just, like, when he took the goal on, he just drove and just scored like that. That's the Harvey that we want to see, but he ain't even doing that. I can't even use we can't even use the whole he's come back from injury excuse, because, well, like, that was a while ago now. Like, you've been given opportunity, you ain't providing nothing. You know what I'm saying? And we have now another 10 in Szoboszlai, where he's more praised for his hard work more than what we ultimately brought him for. But yet he's starting ahead of you. That I don't know what, I don't, there's there has to be a certain disconnect. I don't know whether it's maybe, and I you know what it is, I kind of see why there was links with Ryan Cherki, because with someone like him, I think he offers more than Elliot in certain realms. So I don't know. I don't know what right now. I don't know what the future holds for Elliot. You know what I'm saying? It's not looking really great. I kind of put him and Jones in that category. I don't know. I don't know what the future holds for them. Like, to be honest with you,
I feel like Liverpool got bare players like that. Where I look at them like, bro.
there's a lot.
Yeah, but listen, we ain't got the manager that wants to collect friendships no more, innit? So,
which is good.
Man, them have to leave, bro. Man, them have to leave. They have to leave.
Benz, this is
But
good.
it is though. The way I look at it, right, is, you see, even like when we talk about Jones, yeah, the benefit Jones has is he can, right, play multiple positions in midfield, and at his best, he can, in that game, he would have dictated the game. You would have dictated it, and you would have looked at, he's levels above, innit? He's levels above. That was Elliot's opportunity to go and do that, you know. To not even, I'm not even saying that he smashes one into the top row and we win the game. I'm not asking for that.
Yeah.
But show us why you are like the number 10, innit?
Yeah.
Like, show us why you're that. Get the ball somewhere. Show us something that's like, all right, cool. Yeah, these Plymouth men are struggling, but our forwards aren't getting onto it. And there was none of that.
Right.
There was nothing.
Yeah,
and that's when I look at him and I'm like,
did he? Didn't really like just run past a couple of players, little skill, just win fouls, buy fouls, and then you got at least You know what he's trying.
Like we saw it against Lille like recently, where do you know what I mean he came on and he was like, yeah, do you know what I mean I'm trying to do something, and there was nothing. Like there was absolutely nothing. And for me, it's like raw. Like it's two things. I mean, he ain't got the discipline to play in that 10 role, right? To stay in that pocket and keep moving and get it in those type, or you're just not good enough to do it. It's one of the other, isn't it? But either way, as a manager, you ain't gonna have time for that. He's not here for that. He's not here to develop. He's not an academy coach where it's like, yeah, we're gonna. And you either get the ball in the pocket or you're. And on the outside, he's not dictating the ball. So it's like, bro.
And this is where his future now is very uncertain, because it's like you said, Jerry. It's like with Slot, like he don't have the same patience that maybe a Klopp would have. Where okay, if Elliot if he has one or two like rough games, Klopp will most likely play him the next game to try play him into form. Whereas Slot, it's like you kind of, there's a certain sense of ruthlessness that he has, where it's like, bro, if you can't even perform in this game, then boy,
you see, just on that point, do we think that's more to do with the fact that he's new, so he doesn't have a pre-existing relationship with these players, i.e. Klopp had these guys for time, so we were getting to a point where it was now like he's just going to keep playing my man because he fucks with him for time and sorry,
because he's an out-and-out coach, bro. He's here to just go by statistics. He's here to just get the job done, bro. He wants to win games of football. Man, tell you, even my off time, I'm watching games, bro. He ain't got time to be calling up Harvey and checking in. I'm not saying obviously they don't do that, innit? But you ain't gonna be doing that.
They've got a welfare officer ends. There's a welfare officer.
There is a welfare officer. So
Karen Knightley, some random name like that. Do you know what I mean?
You got in the game, he'll be like, nah, I'm gonna put Sobo back in because Sobo offers me exactly what I need in the game. He's gonna put in the next guy and he'll be like, yo, that guy offers me what I need. And you could see he did the same thing with Diaz, bro. And that's why I feel sorry for Diaz slightly, because it feels to me we're doing that Gakpo thing when Gakpo started playing in the middle and then he lost his confidence out wide, and then everyone just started getting onto him. But that's a different conversation. But it's like you got Jota fit, you got Nunes fit, and he's like, nah, I'm running Diaz. You're like
Karen, not Kira.
It's like, bro, why are you running Diaz through the middle, bro, when you got both your strikers fit? Man said, nah. I ain't got time for these, man. They keep messing around, bro. Let me play him. I know when I played him last time, I got the best out of him, and I got the best out of the team. That's what he's on, bro. He ain't on these. Let me just make a friend.
Listen, I ain't got no beef with that, by the way. Like I said, I can give two shits about friendship. Yeah, of course. I'd like, at the end of the day, regardless of anything, I just want to win the trophies. Like I just need the trophies to at least I can sit back and say, you know what, calm. He did it his way, and his way was clearly the correct way to get the trophies. And I can't argue with someone doing it their way. Do you get what I'm trying to say? So
Hey John, what are you cooking up in there, bro? Methamphetamine or something?
I saw the gloves earlier, and I was like,
he's looking like he's got Walter White next to him with a gun, like, yeah,
bro. The thing is, it threw me off, and I'm thinking, let me just.
If man picked up a
you know, at first I thought they were levers, innit? I thought they were just levers, and I was like, right, is he in the back of the car? But I was like, but it looks like a plane. You know, at the top of the plane, you got the vent.
Bro. But Jerry, I'd be worried if it was levers and he was sitting in the back of the car. Like, as in, I'd be like, yo, make you come up the stream and you know what I mean, do that in your own time, my brother. Like, don't do that here. Like,
man's doing a move. A man said on the way there, bro. Let me just slap on GTV and hop on the street.
That were all accessory to the murders at night.
He'd be a sicko, to have the patience, bro. When man are shaking with the whip in their hand, I mean, he's tapping against the speaker like they're shook. And John said, you know what? Yeah, I'm gonna put on GTV. The whole whip silent. They're driving to country, and all you hear is GTV. So what you said about Elliot? Enz, what do you think?
Nah. Hey, listen, by the way, anybody, listen, don't use me. I'm not no accessory. You see me, I'll be the first one in court jumping up and down saying, but it was him, It was actually him.
Yeah, man have to take their own rap, bro. Don't be trying to get me, bro. Take your own time, man.
Take your own rap. All right, let's move on to the attack. And then obviously I know obviously we got this man here, known as the injury one. We'll call him that one. this season, obviously, he's got himself 8 goals, so 5 in the league, 2 assists. He's only played 627 minutes in the Premier League in those 13 games. This is what it looks like for Jota at this moment in time. Man, them what like? I'm not even like, what do we do with him? Because I feel like the answer is kind of obvious. Well, I feel like the answer will be obvious to a lot of people. But is it just now a case of we just need to get you to the end of the season, and then from there we can say goodbye? Like, we can thank you for everything you've done, help us win the league, of course, and then we can just keep it moving. Because this injury list here, like, man can't keep coming back from an injury and then you're getting injured again. Like, Slot must look at that and just think, bro, I can't trust you. Like, I actually can't trust, even though you're sick though, like in terms of finishing.
You know what? I don't even think it's probably just Slot. I think it's probably the hierarchy. Hence why there's been a lot of reports of us being now linked with Isak. Because I was just thinking about this the other day. I was thinking, you know what? With Michael Edwards, I mean, I know he's not probably maybe day-to-day involved with Liverpool like he was at first, but obviously he oversees the whole whatever, right? So I was just thinking maybe he would have ought to have seen, because he's a data man, isn't he? So he's probably, him and Richard Hughes or whoever, they're probably looking at this, I'd imagine so, and thinking like that his data regarding his injuries is a joke. And I think, and me personally, I don't know how you guys feel about it, but I feel like because of how prolific of a goal scorer he is and how good of a finisher he is, that it gets swept under the rug so much. And for me, it's like, well, that's all well and good, but he's really, when we need him the most, he's really there. So it's like, what's ultimately the point? It's almost like this almost reminds me of when we sold Suarez and our only recognized prolific striker was Sturridge. But yet he was injured time and time again, and them times we had to play like fucking Raheem Sterling up front, and it was just peak. You know what I'm saying?
Man,
Now,
oh my
yeah. Obviously now,
thing is though, John, yeah,
Mm.
that's not even an indictment on Jota. I think the data on it. Look, if you look, as you said, I'm just looking at it now. Yeah, he's been injured since the beginning of time, bro. Every year he's injured.
Yeah.
So it's in like corresponding like dates. It's 1890, 1920, 2021, 2022. Like it's every single season. Yeah, he's injured. So they knew that. But when 100%. He came, you had a front three that were never injured. Bobby's always available. Mane's always available. Salah was always available. So when you got a man that can just come in like that for certain, that's all right. The problem is Nunes has messed up. If Nunes was fit, we're not talking about this. We're actually not, because he's been like this. He's actually just been like this. The problem is we're relying on him now. We're looking at him like, yeah, you are the main guy. If everyone's fit, you're the starting striker. And ultimately, he can't be that. And I don't think he was ever meant to be that, if I'm being honest.
Well, I thought, well, when he first came, if you look at the season, the season he first came, obviously the previous season we had won the league. I think Firmino's goals were kind of drying up. I don't think he got as many goals as he got last season. So there was a bit of a slight trip in his performance regarding like his output in goals with regarding Firmino. Hence why when Jota came in, he kind of broke the front three, and now it kind of became like a front four. But then as soon as Firmino is now getting kind of phased out a bit, Jota was now being more of the centre forward. So he was the one. So he was slightly now being relied upon a lot more, based on Firmino's kind of decline. Do you know what I'm saying?
No, he was, but you know the problem was with Bobby though is that even though there was a decline, if Bobby was starting a game, right, you knew that was like, oh yeah, but Bobby start like that is the part of the old front three, innit? It's like cool, and then obviously. So it's like, cool, he might not play. You might want Jota to play. But if he's injured, we just go back to what we were doing and running it. And he's still going to be able to control the ball and find the man with a pass and stuff. So Mane and Salah can score the goals. Do you get it? Like, it's great we got Jota there. But now it's like, bro, Jota's the only one. To the point where we're playing Diaz false nine. So
Yeah.
Nunes was fit and score goals. I don't think we're talking about this because he'd be
No,
like the Bobby replacement, like the number 9 replacement.
nah, that
Mm.
I agree. I agree with that. But look at the just before you go, John. Like, I'm looking at it again, bro. 19, 24, 13. I mean, we're on 16 technically this season. If you had the 12 and the 4 that he's obviously had, so that's 16 for this season. That's Donny is picking up like these mad, and then you got the little fours, 5s, 8s thrown in there, another 4 thrown in there. Like this guy is missing games, brother. Games. Sorry, go on, Joe.
Yeah, I fully hear where you guys are coming from. Like, I just, it's if there's ever a time to get rid of him, I think in the summer. And I know like he's outperformed in terms of like goals and finishing and whatever you want to call it, other than the rest of them. But it still doesn't make up an excuse as to why this is occurring. Like, I just feel like going forwards, I think the club, regarding the attack overall, I think they really need to have a long. They just get back to basics, man. Just go get proven players who are reliable. They show up every game, every season consistently. That's why I'm always in the comments giving names like Mbeumo or names like Isak, or these are guys who are like Mane was before we brought him, like Salah was before they're on a certain incline to where there's a question now whether can they go do it at a top club, because they're put now it's not even that they're putting up these numbers up just one season. Now this is their 3rd or 2nd season now putting up these numbers. Do you know what I'm saying? And I go back to now, obviously, our ways of buying players. We've never bought the finished article. These players, I'll keep on saying this. These players that were responsible for our success, they were never the finished article when we brought them. Do you know what I'm saying? So who are we to toot up our own horn, right? And say that, and Mbeumo, he plays for Brentford. But bro, he's bagging more goals than our front three, our front line alone. Do you know what I'm saying? That's the reality of it. Do you know what I'm saying? So I just feel like, for me going forward, like I think it's pretty obvious where the club needs to be shopping, attacking wise, and there's no excuses for it. There's no excuses for it. Oh God.
Lucho.
Oh God.
Obviously, this season he's got goals, got 12 goals, 3 assists, 33 games. So what's that? 15? Yeah, 15 in 33 in terms of like GA. Played 1,004 in the Premier League alone. But this is his record in the Premier League. He's only scored in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 games in the Premier League. That's where all of his goals obviously have come in the Premier League. In how many games? In
8.
what's that?
In 33.
No. This year in the 22 games.
22.
In 22 games, he's only
5 in 22.
5 in those. When we're looking at Diaz, and obviously Jerry, you mentioned it there. Obviously, he's been playing like this kind of like false 9 role for whatever reason. That's his position now. How do you guys look at this? ENDZ, Jerry, John, you guys can take it away, whatever you want.
It's the same, innit, man. You can tell, innit, man. It's the same little experimenting, bro. When we did it against Leverkusen, I just knew it, bro. It worked. It looked cold. Okay, we can run it again.
And you knew it was going to continue.
I knew it, bro. I was just like, bro, all you're going to do now is the man is just going to lose his 4 minute. That's all you're going to get. Then he's just rusty when he goes there. Like, oh, yeah, run it back. When I was doing the show earlier with Sam, I think it was K-Man said, no, but you could still play. And I said, yeah, bro. And he ain't played in your position for a bit. You do get rusty, bro. It's different runs, different areas of the pitch you have to operate in. The fundamentals stay the same. Obviously, control it, pass it, dribble stays the same. But there's certain things you have to get used to again. And he's been used to that. Oh, yeah, let me occupy this space here. Let me drop in and become another midfielder. Let me try and link it. Let me carry it into these spaces. And, bro, it's just mad, isn't it? Yes, do we need him to get more goals? Yeah, but then who are you comparing him to? Because that's the question. You have to say, who am I comparing him to? Am I comparing him against Salah? He can't do that. Or are you comparing him against the other wingers in the league in his position? Because that's a fair comparison. Then you go, nah, he needs to be getting Salah's numbers. No one gets Salah's numbers, bro. No one's gonna get them numbers, bro. Like, the man is an anomaly, bro. He's different.
Yeah.
So you have to compare him to the other wingers in the league. And then you can go, okay, where can we improve on that position? Because this guy is doing better in a worse team than what we would say our team is. And then you can go, like, yeah, you can have the argument then. But other than that, like, bro, what other wingers on that left-hand side is getting them numbers, bro? And I know we only do the Premier League thing, but I think that's just unfair, innit? Like, you play games. Some games you don't start. Some games you come on. Some games you're paying half an hour. Games already wrapped up, so the teams like keep it. Sometimes you're starting in fringe teams and rotated teams like you did the other day. So I think it has to be fair in it in the comparisons.
Yeah, I echo that, man. I feel like John, you might. Yeah, sorry, you were saying. Interrupted.
Oh no, I wasn't going. I was listening.
Oh, okay. Yeah. No, I was just with the Diaz thing, right? If I'm gonna be honest, he's been pants recently, innit? Like, which might recently, he's been rubbish. And this is, like I said, I'm straight up when it comes to he's been rubbish. But I'll try to figure out like why he's been rubbish, right? Diaz at his best is when he's able to just isolate and just cook and do what he wants to do in it, right? And I feel like, and this is something I've just been thinking about. I think the reason why Gakpo plays on the left over Diaz is because Diaz is better when he's off the cuff, when he can just float around and pick up. And look, even you look at his heat map, he's been playing as a false nine, but it's still towards the left. It's not like dead in the center. It's still towards the left. What that enables him to do though is talk about what other people are saying. The link up's better. He drops in, he gets the ball, picks it up, does a 1-2, drops the shoulder, and he can be like off the cuff, right, and just be a bit fluid. Problem is, he's doing it in deeper areas, right, because he's not doing it up against the last man anymore. He's doing it just off the centre mid. If you go and look at the goal we scored, I think it was it Tottenham or Spurs? It might have been Tottenham when you got the ball in the midfield and beat the man and then done like a 1-2 and shot and it deflected and went in. Maybe it was West Ham, maybe one of the games. But it was like that was Diaz where it's like cool. He's able to do that from deep. You're not going to get that often though. If you look at the players that score the goals, a lot of the goals, they're on the last man. That's just football. He's not on the last man. So again, he's not going to get opportunities to get the ball and score mad goals and stuff like that, because that's not his role. He's playing in deeper areas to go and get the ball right now. So we've got a bit more control. I look at him and again, it's what K-Mac saying. I just don't think he's a system guy like that.
No, he's not.
Like, stay out wide, just do this and just run and do the same thing over and over again. It's like for him, he's like, like we talk about Grealish. Grealish is another one where you're like, rah, why is Grealish? Grealish is like that. Yeah, I mean, to a madder extent, there's pure ballers from back in the day that are like that just wouldn't do well in a system. They wouldn't, like, because they're just restricted. He was at his best when he was just, well, we don't even speak the language. Just forget what we're doing. Just do your own thing. Do your own thing on the wing. That was when it was like, rah, man's doing stuff. And Klopp, remember, G, we were speaking about, Klopp don't get his hands on him, you know. I hope he don't. Once Klopp got his hands on him, this is when you have the system guy. Now, Slot's a system guy as well. They're similar to like Klopp. It's his system. It's not wingers do your thing. Just have the freedom to do whatever. It's not that. So now when they're in the system, it's like, you know what? What's he gonna do? And you saw it in the game, and you go back to Plymouth, where it's like it looked like the system. He's getting the ball, he's dragging 3 man over to him with the side step dribble, dropping the shoulder, cutting inside and playing the pass to Nyoni. Nyoni, it's on you now though. You've got to do something with the gap that we just created, but they don't do it. So now you look rubbish. But the manager's looking at it thinking, you've done the right thing. Alternatively, he's got to try and beat 5 men. And what you remember, and what I always remember, is when Diaz is at his best, is especially when he's like I always think of like finals or like big games. So you talk about United, you talk about the City games and stuff, where you've got to do something a bit more off the cuff. Those are the games whether he scores or not, you always remember, all right, he done man up there, you know, because it was just off the cuff. He's not going to tell you how I did it, but he's like, yeah, I dropped the shoulder and we got past and I did this, and maybe the pass. He's not going to be able to go and do that in the system. And I'm looking at it now, and I'm like, even me, I'm like, with Diaz, if this is how it is, and you're not gonna enable him to just do his thing out on the wing like that, you're better off getting someone that's just gonna go and do the system. And Barca did it with Ronaldinho, you know. Pep Guardiola did that with Ronaldinho. He didn't take his time to think, we're gonna no, bounce. We can just put Pedro on there, you know. That's just gonna stay out wide and not do his thing.
Run. And that's why now I think obviously the links with Barca for him. If he goes there, he's cooking there, bro. That on them man they have. Jesus Christ.
That attack that they've got over there, you can tell, like Rafinha, Yamal, like even Lewandowski, like them men are just doing.
And you put
like,
him in there.
Do what you're doing, and the rest of the team have to pattern up.
And put him in there, bro. Bro, it's a problem.
So in like I didn't ask it for Jota or not, but I'll ask it for him and thing. In all of your opinion, what would you do? Sell or keep at the end of the season? I'll go to Jota first, and then we'll go to Diaz afterwards.
Sell Jota.
Jerry.
Keep it. Oh, here you go. Yeah.
Depends.
Jerry, he's gonna get injured again, bro. Like it is what it is.
Now. No, but it depends, innit? Because if he's second, like if you've got Isak and Jota's on the bench, then I don't care.
No, because then when you need to rely on him, Isak is another one of them as well. There's moments when
no, Isak, but it could be whoever in it. It could be whatever forward you want. It doesn't have to be Isak, but let's say you just get any forward, you get someone that's just Lewandowski, that's always available, or the reincarnation of Haaland. If Haaland's there and Jota just on the bench, bruv, I'm fine with that.
He's not going to be on the bench. just be honest.
Hey, all I'm saying is Harry Kane's got a release clause. Harry Kane's got a release clause next January.
Talk about it.
What I'm saying, man, you might want to, you know what I mean, just throw.
Harry, you want to just come here for a couple of years, man.
When Harry was going to Bayern, I said, brother, I beg you, just sign my man, because I feel like that is the type of striker who does. I feel just what you need in today's football. But
we clean up, right?
Say that again.
We clean up, right?
We'd clean up.
We clean up.
Yeah,
with who?
Kane.
Kane's up front. Yeah.
The thing is, you're so funny though. We probably would, and I think the link up between Suarez and him would be mad. Do you know how often we get annoyed and be like, bruv, he's not in the box?
Yes, that would, yeah.
Like it's still the same situation where he's playing someone through and they're missing.
Oh, but he'll be playing Salah in that through, bro. He'll be all right.
He's playing Salah through, but do you know what I mean? Like, you could play Salah through, but it doesn't make it. Spurs were like that, bruv. He was playing Son through, but my man Moura and Werner and the rest of the man were missing.
This is why you just need to.
But that's why we're saying we're gonna
just get it done. Just get it done now,
bro. It is ultimately if your game is predicated around it's that 1-2 combination. It's very simple to stop. It's very simple to. It's difficult, but it's simple in theory. If you've got Kane there, that's calm. But cool. We're just not gonna allow you to drop in. If you drop in, we're harassing you. Now, has he got the legs to get in behind with the high press? No way.
Yeah, but I don't feel like. You know what? We're only gonna know in the summer because that's why I'm so intrigued to see what does Slot do, in terms of the players that he signs. Like, I don't care. I actually don't care who we sign. Obviously, we all have our favorites, right? Cool. But in terms of who we sign, I'm not actually that bothered. I'm just trying to look at the profile. I'm trying to figure out oh, okay, so you want that type of guy? Okay, fair. We know that he wanted Zubimendi as an example, so we know that's the type of midfielder that he probably likes in terms of around Europe. So he might try and find another Zubimendi if he can get the opportunity to do so. I'm trying to figure out in all these other positions that he might want to add. Who would you realistically buy? Obviously, that we can get. That's why I'm intrigued, to see. What about Diaz?
I'd keep him. I'll keep him.
Jerry?
I'd keep, but I'm just gonna play it out there. If Slot can find a guy again better than Gakpo in the system that can just do his thing and just be efficient and just be the guy where you might not even rate him, but it's just cool. You might as well cash in on him because again he's 28 going 29. Again, I'm a fair guy, you know. This is my guy.
No,
as well.
hey, I hear it.
And G knows it. G's like, right, you know what? Yeah, but it's like, to me, it's like, if he's 27, 28, and someone comes in with 75 M's, right? You might have to just let him go to Barca and just let him cook there. Just like with Rafinha, you know what I mean? Rafinha was getting cracked on last season. All of a sudden, man's the best player in the world. Just let him do his thing somewhere, or he might go wherever else and cook, and then go and get. He might even be Gordon in it. Just in the system. He's sharp. He's fast. He's young, and that's it.
Just before I get your answer, John, you know what's mad about that? You know, like people say about like Nunes. Oh, if he goes somewhere else, like he'll cook. I don't really believe that, but it would depend on, like, I feel like there'll be too many factors. I actually genuinely.
He'd have to do well. He'd have to overachieve.
Yeah, for me to be like,
madness. Yeah.
Whereas Diaz, I actually genuinely believe that if you actually went to a different team that wasn't like, obviously every team's got a system, but if you just wasn't like, your role wasn't so like, if you went to like a PSG, because I'm seeing what 𝐒𝐁𝐃 is doing, brother's being allowed to just play his position and do what you kind of want to do. Even a team, I'm not saying that specific team, by the way, but just a team like that, bro, I feel like Diaz could cook. And
But that's my point. You see, like if 𝐒𝐁𝐃 was on the left wing for Liverpool and asked to just do what 𝐷AKPO does, which is get the ball, do this, cut inside, and just do that. He's not allowed to come into centre because he's making it. He needs McAllister to be able to get in that pocket. You can't just all of a sudden you're looking at it and you're like, rah, like he's not gonna. Whereas at PSG, it's like he's getting the ball and doing whatever he wants. And if we've seen when Diaz does that, when he can just do whatever he wants, you're looking at him like, bro, this guy is seriously talented, bro. Like he's one of the ones that when, bro, you know who I spoke to, but he's telling me this guy's a joke. You're saying this guy's a joke. You don't realize it. This is coming from another winger. You don't realize it. But ultimately, if you're just told to just start wide, Henry had the same issue when he was with Pep.
But yeah.
We saw what Henry was doing against Arsenal. We saw what he was doing for Arsenal. Sorry, it was mad. But at Barca, it looked like all man was doing is standing on the sideline waiting for the ball, not able, like honestly, get it and then give it to Iniesta, let him do his thing.
Man told you
he won,
the line and
but they're not holding him in high regard. You know what I mean? When you go to the new camp, Henry's not a name there. You ain't seen his t-shirt hung up anywhere. Yeah, that's just good Johnson and that. It's just it's all wrapped in a bundle just somewhere. You know what I mean?
Right.
Let me just go into like the retro vibe. Let me see.
But it's not. No, but it's not even there. Like that's my point. It's like there's this pure man. It's not there. But do you know what I mean? Arsenal is different.
Maybe.
For me, that's more so where it is. But yeah, I'd probably sell. Yeah.
What about you, John? In terms of Diaz, man?
Yeah, no, I'll definitely sell, man. I feel like I'll definitely echo what everyone's saying. I think he's the type of player who needs to just be allowed to just be him. Like he was never a system player. You know what I'm saying? It's like after those first 6 months when he first came, it was just I couldn't believe the player we got. But then a part of me at that time was like, but then when he starts settling in. And then Klopp starts to now coach him. We're probably
making him into Mane, doing the same runs, the same types of goals.
Do you remember we had the conversation about it? And I said, I guarantee this man is going to turn him into a European baller, bro.
Yeah.
When he first I said, watch, he's going to turn him into a European baller, just static, just like, simple pass it and move. That's it. Bro.
Yeah.
No.
You see ENNY, brother, he's got that MAGA hat on hard. What is this? I've had enough. If you don't speak English. Yeah.
You know, but you know what's mad? You know what game that really showed me like, oh my days, like this Diaz brother is on smoke. See, when we played Villarreal in the Champions League, I said, what? Bro, Diaz was moving mad. Like, yes, I remember the Chelsea game. He did the flip. It wasn't even that game. Like, that was because by that time, when we played Chelsea in the final, he was tired, and I could tell because you could see he was doing his stuff, but you could tell, we played bare games. He was playing all the time. Yeah. But that Villarreal game.
Remember when he got clattered by the keeper as well? Was it Villa or someone? Where he just got rattled. It was like, bro.
And that's when I saw that game, and it's like all the guys on here, like they've all said, I said, bro, Klopp is, and you just knew because I saw Klopp with Jones, bro. I was like,
G verbatim said to me when Klopp sinks his teeth.
bro. Like you can't because and the thing is, yeah. Listen, look, big up Klopp in it because he had his type of wingers, which was Mane, Salah. He had those wingers. I was like, brother, I promise you, Diaz isn't one of them guys. Like Diaz is a brother, like Jerry has said, like ENDZ said, like John has said, like everyone's saying. I'm seeing this brother for Colombia. Man's not sitting in a fucking system, stay out wide and do what you're doing. He's roaming around and just playing.
But for Colombia,
he's like Messi in that team.
But for Colombia, he's ripping up the Spain team that won the Euros.
Yes.
3 months before they won the Euros, my missus at the West Ham Stadium at their seeing Diaz ripping them up and assisting and they're beating Spain with the same team that they won the Euros with. You know, like ultimately, it's just what it is. Cole Palmer, same type of situation, bro. He's gone to Chelsea where he was able to be the guy, do what you want to do, go into areas where you want, and he looks amazing. He looked really good, and he was talented at City. Don't get it twisted. If he stayed at City, he would never be that guy, though. He would never be that guy. He wouldn't be allowed to.
Yeah, I think that's the unfortunate thing with the managers that we've had. Maybe not so much Brendan Rodgers, but Klopp and Slot. Whereas they kind of coach out a lot of the not fun, but the that thing. Do you know what I'm saying?
It's only about Gerard Houllier, bro. You know what I'm saying? Rest in peace, my man. You know what I mean? Like he had, I mean, a young Gerard doing his thing. You know what I mean? He had an Owen. Hey, but listen, that's a conversation for a whole next day. I'm trying to rile up anybody with them.
That's the right words, man. Fun, bro. Man, just take the fun out. It's an entertainment thing, bro. It's a sport. Meant to be entertaining. And said, no. Just stand here. We're just occupying this space. That's all I need. Like, bro. You think I work this hard to stand in spaces, bro? I didn't.
You know what's mad? Yeah, I'm looking like I was watching an academy game the other day, right? And I'm listening. Obviously, I don't know. Like, I'm not in the academy scene to know, but I'm listening to like the coaches obviously speak to some players when they come off the bench and tell them what to do and yada yada yada. But I'm watching some of the players that I'm watching. You can see they've got this like a Diaz, so to speak, in terms of. They're just off the cuff. They do whatever it is they're doing. You see, when we talk about Rio, by the way, that's the same energy I get. And I kept saying it, but I'm worried for Rio. Not because I don't think he's good. He's a baller. But I feel like what he'll turn into isn't what we think he's going to be.
Should be. What he should be. Yeah,
what he should be. Sorry. Yeah, he's not a Lamine Yamal at a club like that where you're like, bro, they play bare youngsters at Barcelona because they have to, and he gets the freedom.
No, he just look. Let's be honest. He's just gonna be a Madueke, isn't it?
Yes,
he's gonna be like a Madueke.
Yes, he'll be like a Madueke.
Where it should be Musiala, he's gonna be a Madueke, bro.
Yes, if you went and saw it, if you went and saw Madueke at a fives, a 5 sesh, you'd be like, oh my, like he'd tear it up. As soon as they get to 11-a-side game, it's efficiency. That's just the game. And your boy Salah, G, this is what these men do. This is what happens to these men. They get all the plaudits, and then all of a sudden you're looking at it, you're like, rah, but my man's not doing. And ultimately, look, it is what it is. That's just the game, innit? And look, this is what I'm saying. You're only able to be that guy and do whatever you want if you drop down a level, innit? From wherever you are, if you're any player, drop down a level. So you see, like, if Harvey Elliott wants to be the guy, drop down to Ipswich and see if you can be that guy there. And then if you're that guy. Do you know what I mean? Grealish, do you know what I mean? He done that. He came up from and he showed he was that guy to be the main guy. Do you know what I mean? Like that. Otherwise, you're going to be a system guy. That's what it is. You ain't bigger than the team.
In the next 5 years, bro,
and you're not going to be better than De Bruyne. That's the problem. You can come up, but like Maguire's not going to be better than Salah. It's it'll be very, very highly unlikely that not Maguire, Rio Nagoma, sorry. He's not going to be Salah. He's not going to be Salah ever. It's going to be very, very like I put my money on it. He won't get Salah's numbers, innit?
You ain't getting them numbers.
He's not. So now it's like like I can do all of this, but I'm not Salah. You've got to be so good for a team to be like, you know what? Yeah.
And then you change, and then you're gonna check because you're like, I'm gonna have to go away from what I love doing, bro, to just go and do this part. And then
But this is what it is.
Yeah.
So when it goes back to our talk about Gakpo and why people are saying, why is Gakpo not rising and doing like taking the mantle of a Salah? Because he cannot. Because he's not good. He can't. It's like, right, he just can't. So as long as this guy's here, I haven't got the freedom to be like, yeah, do that because that's the only one we've got. Because guess what? You see, if Salah wasn't in the team, right? Salah's gone. Liverpool don't sign anyone else. Who do you think? You see, both of them, Gakpo and Diaz, Slot's going to have to look at one of them and be like, yeah, you're going to have to be our main guy, you know? You're going to have to do everything for us. You're going to have to... And then you see what they're whether about. There's guys or not, what they're about. Because otherwise, you're not going to do that. And if Liverpool go out and get Mbappe in an alternate reality, he's never going to be better than Mbappe. So Mbappe's going to be the guy. Says, right, I've got to take a back seat now. And that's each of those players in their own Benzema was the same thing, guys. Benzema, but when Ronaldo was there, he's being linked with Arsenal every single day, bro. Every single day, it was like, yeah, he's gonna have to go Arsenal. And Arsenal were like, nowhere, you're getting slapped up in the champion. Think about the team Arsenal were. No title talk. It was an FA Cup here and there. They had lost Sanchez. But that was the wrong. Ronaldo goes and Benzema's a Ballon d'Or winner.
Benzema's like, oh my days, yeah, my turn now.
I found that. I used to
man like that. Pirlo like that as well.
We'll have that.
When Seedorf and these men were about, Pirlo was not even. Who was that?
Just part of the squad,
You're just a part of the squad.
You know what it is? It's a lot of recency bias and revisionism because you start to you almost forget. Like, see that 05 final with Liverpool in the Champions League. I promise you, man was not remembering Pirlo in that game. And you'll probably even forget that he was even there. It's these kind of little things, but these times I remember the Kakas, I remember the Maldinis, because I remember all these other guys, right? But even and then in the 07 final, I don't remember Pirlo. I don't remember these guys like Pirlo, bro.
Pirlo emerged as the guy when he was at flipping Juventus, bro.
Juventus, yeah.
That's when he had Pogba and Vidal. That's it, Vidal.
Yeah. Do you know what I mean? It's just, this is what it is. This is what it is. It's like, yeah, you have to be that good. You have to be that good. And ultimately, a majority of men aren't that good because these teams you're talking about have got the best. They've got the best.
Yeah.
So any player you sign, you could have signed Kvaratskhelia. He's not going and taking the mantle over Salah. He's not. So he's going to have to supplement him in some way. The goals are going to reduce. There's something's he's gonna have to work hard defensively to help out.
He's trying to cause problems in the chat.
Yeah, bro, I see it. Anyways, let's move on to Nunes. Anyhow, I don't know what to call him, and I ain't calling him them stupid nicknames that you man be throwing out there. Obviously, Nunes has been Nunes this season, right? Got 6 goals in all comps with 5 assists in 32 games. But I'm looking at the minutes and I'm like, not really, like 820 minutes in 18 games in the Premier League.
How he played in the Prem?
Yeah, 820.
I thought it'd have been way more than that.
In our heads, it probably is, but really, when you think about it, think about how many times he came off the bench, like last 10, 15 minutes.
True,
that's what I remember. This was at the tip when Jota was still fit. He was just sitting on the bench, coming on. And you know what's funny about Nunes this season, right? We with Nunes, it's always such a funny combo because it changes every season that he's been here, right? The first season, it was a just. He can't speak the language. No worries. We move on to the next season. The second season, we then move on to, but he's getting chances, though. He's being the chaotic player that we clearly, obviously, people like. This season, he's getting less chances, less opportunities. Now, it's all about his defensive stats.
So they're crazy.
Now, if I, by the way, everybody, if I took away, like, what I should have done is block out the name Nunes, versus Spurs. If I block that and just put Szoboszlai, McAllister, Curtis Jones, Harvey Elliott, Endo, and you saw, he won a penalty, he won 3 ground duels, he won 3 aerial duels, 4 clearances, 2 tackles, created 3 chances. I promise you'd think this is a
all of these tackles. That's
100%.
But the way John's shaking his head,
bro, like this is, and this is the problem now for me in terms of the Nunes sexuals, right? Because every season it has changed with this player where we talk about it's always like there's always like some excuse as to why this guy is not the guy that we all thought he was going to actually be this season. You know what? It's because Slot doesn't, play with a striker who likes to run in behind that much. He wants this guy to drop in deep and do this X, Y, Z, blah, blah, blah. Fair enough. I'm not going to argue with anybody who thinks that. But I'm sorry, when I saw this, because I didn't even know these were the stats, I was like, everyone was obviously gassed, and rightly so. Obviously, we got to the final of the Carabao Cup, right? I remember watching the game and like highlights and thinking, he's making a lot of like clearances from like the corners and stuff. That's the one I remember. This is the striker. Like, okay, like these stats are good. Like, they're not bad. They're definitely not bad. But let me see your attacking stats now. Cool. Like, someone show me, like, let me see, like, shots. Let me see shots on target. Let me see goals. Let me see assists. I didn't see any of that.
So for this in particular game, obviously, I don't know if you watched it. His overall game was very good. When you come to, like, chances, I do not remember any, to be fair. In terms of, like, raw, finish that, or you should have done better there. It weren't even like that, bro. It was just like the whole team, and he was just leading the line. And it was more just making sure he would stop anything, any counter attacks, press the back line, harry the goalkeeper so he'd kick it out, and then we'll just build off of that. That was literally that game in particular. But you're right, in terms of his first season, the excuse was, he needs to learn English, get, with his teammates. The second season, it was, he's missing too many chances. I 100% agree. But he did score quite a few goals and he got a few assists. But the third season, it's mad because now you're just talking about, you thought, all right, kick on from here now, bro. But then the new manager comes in and said, bro, you have to hold bench still. You ain't like my main striker, innit? You can come off the bench and I know we'll see what we can do and I'll try and work with you. But then the main guy was just can't stay fit. Now you got him that you have to go and lead the line. But the problem we have is, I don't think as a team, obviously as a fan base, we know what we expect, right? We know as a striker, we want what we want. I don't know if these men expect that, bro. I'm not saying they don't score. I don't look at our team going, bro, you need to get 20 goals in a season. I don't see that. I don't see our team going, he needs to get 20. I don't see them going, nah, you need to go and get 20. You need to even, I just see them like, just score when you can, because this is the way we're going to play. And anyone in the front line, we get the numbers and we win the game of football. Bearing in mind, one guy is just cooking on one side, so he's getting them numbers over there. So that's why I'm just like, bruv, if we're not gonna do that for the strikers, you might as well just get rid of them, bruv, and get in a false nine or something like that. Or even an Isak, he could probably just do that role anyway. He could play the deep thing and then probably get in the box. I look at the way we play, I'm just like, bro, no matter who you put it through the middle for me, no, bro. I honestly don't know. I don't, because I'm watching the game. You're telling me one of the guys you got is one of the most clinical strikers we have. He's got 8 goals. That don't make sense to me, because that means if he's up there and he's playing, he should have more goals than that. You should have more goals than that, because that means you're telling me we've been creating chances. But we haven't, bro. Like, I'm watching the games and everyone's watching it, and it's like these little snap ones. They're like, nah, put that in. You're like, bro, like, let's be realistic. There's some you're like, bro, put that in, hit the target. Let's see what happens. But there's some you're just like, those are not even chances. But he needs to definitely go next season, because he's not. And that's just because he don't suit the way we want to play. And he's not going to make it at the club now. It's done for him here. But I guarantee you, bro, we're going to have this conversation. Mark my words, bro. We're going to get someone else in. And we're going to carry on playing with where we're playing. And what you're going to see. And then what I'm going to ask is, are we still happy with them numbers for a striker? Because the idea is, and I gather from most of the fan base, we need a striker that's getting 20 plus. But I don't see someone getting 20 plus, or Mo then getting his numbers as well. Cody on the other side trying to get his numbers. And then we're saying, let's sell Diaz and getting Gordon. And then you want Gordon to then. So what numbers is Gordon going to get as well? He might even still be here. Do you know what I mean? That we've got too many guys that we're relying on, too many forwards that we got in the team where like everyone wants to eat. One man in particular wants to eat more than everyone else. So even if you get someone else in, I saw, bro, even in that game, in particular, how much it was bad, Cody beat the fullback, could have squared it to Nunes for a tapping, bro. Man shot instead. And then apologized to him after. So that's when you're asking about the attacking stats. That was the one. He was square. If I would have strangled Cody, bro. And like, bro, you already scored in the game. The square, give me the tapping, bro. I'm out here getting crucified by our fan base, and you see me here hungry, bro. You don't want to give me that.
I wouldn't have apologized.
Now you have to, bro. But that's my prime example. Because if you're telling me that's Isak in the middle, what we gonna then do?
The difference is, yeah. Do you know what it is? The best strikers, yeah, the best strikers that the Premier League have seen and stuff, right? And I don't even put Isak in that thing. The one thing they had about them though was, you know, like they commanded respect. It's like, what? Pass the damn ball. Yeah. Rooney, Van Nistelrooy, Drogba, Suarez.
We don't have them type of players though, Jerry, no more.
But that's the point. They can't. The reason why you can't is because you've got another brother on the right that's doing it. And it goes back to our point. You know, like, if there was a different, in an alternate reality, Salah's not here, right? One of these guys from the front view would have to rise. And they would. One of them would. And it might not be Diaz or Gakpo. It might have been Nunes. And he might not be getting mad goals. But there'll be a pass the damn ball into me. Be getting mad. Instead, man's happy to play like, oh, I'm just going to facilitate him. Look, Ibrahimovic, what? You don't pass in the ball. He's strangling you, bro.
Yeah, literally strangling, like literally.
Look at Mane. Look at the issue that Mane and Salah were having on pitch when Salah wouldn't square it. We haven't seen that once with this front three. Everyone's Salah's the only one. Salah's the only one that gets mad. Salah's the only one.
Now, G, I don't know if you saw it, but I promise you, brother, it was like, who passed? It might have been Elliot that passed it to Cody. And I'm like, bro, he could square it. You could see he could square it. Man shot, and then the keeper parries it slightly, and it hits the other post. And then Nunes turned out, and I said, bro, why don't you just turn around and just grab the youth, bro? Like, what you do? Square that to me, bro.
Nah, he ain't on that. He ain't on that.
But none of them, like Jerry said, none of them are on that, bro. They don't.
But that's my point. Even look at Marmoush, yeah, for City. He's come in. When he's not getting the ball, he's getting mad. He's already come into that setting, and he's like, pass the damn ball into me. He's already showing that all of these strikers have it. All of them. Benzema, look what you was talking about Vinicius. He's against us. Man's against us.
And don't pass to
man's in front of him, and he's speaking to him in French, telling him he's against us. You know, he's against us. man knows he's speaking about. He's having to air it. He's having to pretend that he's not hearing.
You know, you look around like
he's looking around, but he knows he's never looking around. He's looking. Man, they're talking there. He's just looking straight down the tunnel. But he knows that, man. Yeah, don't pass to him. He's against
us. And then Vinny's taking up the mantelpiece. Sometimes the man they might have to leave for someone to take it up. Benzema left. Vinny said, "Yo, I'll take that, man. That's mine now."
And at that point, and remember, at that point, man, then when Vinicius was against Real Madrid, yeah, he's against the team. Don't pass to him. No one thought we'd be sitting here today saying, "Yeah, he's one of the best players in the world." Yeah, it was, bruv. Yeah. You know what?
Especially when you had players like Benzema as well, like in the team, like right, like he's never gonna be, not never, but you don't see a world where he can become one of the. That's mad. I'm sorry. I'm just kind of like the dynamics. That's like the most awkward like moment that you must have. How do you even play with man? Like play football with man later on? Like I like that's so awkward, bro.
It's the next day. You're playing with him. But you know it's little things. It's like all of a sudden it's like, oh yeah, guys, can you get into groups within a quick rondo? All of a sudden Vinicius in your group. Oh no. Hey, can I move to your group? You know little things like that. Yeah. Hey, Danny Ceballos, let's swap.
Yeah,
and Vinicius knows, but he can't say anything.
Like, you know,
bro, man. If you've been in it, this stuff happens, bro. This stuff happens. So it's like, ultimately, that's the problem with Nunes, isn't it? You know, going back to your point, and when you were saying, but we don't play for him because he doesn't demand that we play for him.
Yeah,
man's playing for Salah. Man's getting the ball and trying to find Salah and do, bruv. He needs to have that thing about him when I'm Ross, and he's got it to a certain extent. But I'm Ross, I don't care. And tell him, man, shut up.
Yeah,
I'm the striker here. I'm the striker, but he's not doing that. And but ultimately,
because we built him too much of a nice.
Because me personally, his first season was his best. We're looking back on it, even though he weren't great. His first season was his best one.
Because he was just
for me. His first season was his best one, where I looked at it and I was like, all right, it weren't great, but he looks like he's trying to be that guy. It doesn't matter whatever's going on. We might not be playing well, but he looks like he's trying to be that guy. Him personally. Then he became, man started, and the fans did it. No, he's goals and assists, and no, it's GA now. It started with goals, then it became GA. Now it's defensive stats. Now the GA is cracked because you could look at this is what happens to man, you know.
Do you know how
and now he has to reconsider. But now he's a forward that comes on and works hard. He's in the mold of 𝐑𝐬𝐀 and 𝐒𝐔𝐁𝐒. And I'm gonna show you. There's nothing. I can't offer anything else. But what I can do is work hard. And this is what I would do, innit? Like if someone said to me, yeah, bruv, you just got to play up front for Liverpool right now, bruv, I'd be unfit, I'd be blowing, I'd be moving like, but I'll work hard, you know. I'll leave one in on someone. I'll get the crowd G'd up. I'll do all of this.
Do you know it's so mad because it's one little trait change, bro. Just actually be demand it off the man, then, bro. Like since he's learned English a bit, bro. Now he's all too night now, bro.
You know that you guys are
YouTube videos. Him and Diaz are doing YouTube videos.
You know when you guys are talking about like Nunes, like even the you know, like some strikers like I'll watch like obviously Henry was one of them, but maybe not someone as good as him, but just some strikers when I watch them, you see when strikers take a shot but they knew that was not the right decision to make and they don't care what anyone, like, you know, when someone's shouting at you, but you can, like, I can hear you shouting from the TV, but he's not even, he might even just look at you and just be like that's what, like, even that, like, even just, you don't have to shout back at man. I don't need you to be like, shut up, pass through. It doesn't have to even be that aggressive. It can just be, I've taken a shot because I'm taking a shot. If you don't like it, that's your business. They're like, I'm not here to.
Do you know who that? And do you know what's the best example of that, G? Yeah. See, when you look at 2 number 8, actually 3 number 8s, yeah. I used to see Szoboszlai and Diaz, no, Szoboszlai and Naby Keita, when they shoot, yeah, and it misses, they go, and then they go, sorry. All these hands up that way. When Gerard just got past, he used to go into row Z. Man just walk back.
Yeah, you see man just walk back. No said a word. Like,
when Rooney would slap it, unless it was like a gilt-edged, like man should have squared it, it was an open goal, and he'd be like, oh, bro, not cool. Bro, man, shoot, bro, Salah, when he slaps it and it comes off his shin pad and it goes left. I've never seen him go, he doesn't even look. Bro, I've seen him, right? There's even more time. Someone will play a pass into him. He should have done better with the finish, but he missed the ball, whatever. Man don't even say thank you for the pass. Man just like, yeah, but you should have done that. You should have done that.
You man remember when, like, I think it was the Chelsea game where man was cheering for the penalty that wasn't even the penalty or something like that.
Oh, Nunes, yeah.
No, Naby Keita.
Naby Keita, yeah, I remember, yeah.
Bro.
Oh, and the referee had, and these lot were trying to explain to him, like, bro, it's not what you
Yeah, bro, like. No, bro,
bro, that's what I'm saying. Man will shoot and be like my bad. Like, I always tell my kids as well when I'm coaching ends, you know, but when they're doing a rondo and I'm seeing like, sorry, bro, don't do sorry. I don't want to hear sorries, bro.
Yeah, I don't want to hear.
There's no sorries. No sorry, just do better.
Oh, Gary, you're still no sorry, brother.
No, just do better.
I don't want to be playing football and every 5 minutes, bro, because it happens, bro. 99% of football, you're failing, innit? You're misplacing a pass. Someone's done a bad touch. Your shot didn't go on target. What? Every 5 minutes, man's gonna be like, sorry. It's gonna be sounding something from in betweeners or something. Sorry. Salah, sorry. I should have passed it. Sorry. I don't want to hear that.
Nah, it's true, man. We ain't got them, man. We built, to be fair, man. The ethos and the thing around the club is good in it, but we got too many nicey man, them, bro. Because I wouldn't apologize if I shot. But I promise you, if you didn't give me the pass and I'm there, you're definitely annoying about it, bro. I'll hold that feeling throughout the whole game.
This is why we need a couple of the mandem to pull up to. I'm saying we need a couple of the mandem to pull up to Liverpool and just give me that bit of like, I'm not hearing.
You know, going back to it,
I'm suffering. No, if you man don't want Bridgins, you man don't want Bridgins, and I'm getting sick from the fans. You man see me getting ripped on social media, and you dribbled past a Manji, and I'm like, gee, square that. And then you hit it, and then you apologize. I'll fight you. I swear to God, because I'm like, bro.
But the thing is, I never did sorries anyway. Because one, I'm not sorry. Like I already done it.
My God.
I'm clearly not sorry for what I did.
Because there's no way you can turn away from me there, G. Especially when you know, like I'm going through it, bro. The fans are getting onto me, man. There's death threats, everything, bro. And you get there and you're like, bro, if I score in this game, bro, what semi-finals? Yeah, the fans are gonna I'll bust a knee slide, and you don't even apologize. You just shoot from a mad angle and turn your back at that. No, bro, I'm shoving.
No,
you.
but I used to do it all
honestly-
the time, though. I'll just turn my back. And the thing is, I can hear, you know what? I can feel the stares. Like, I can feel someone staring at me. I'm like, bro,
And,
that's
and do you know what it is? And do you know what I like last season? And this is why I kind of rate him, right? Is, you know, this is going back to obviously off topic. See, when Kwanzaa was like, bruv, condolences, isn't it? But bruv,
yeah.
That's, you see, that mentality, I know Slots killed it, right? He's killed it. But that's the mentality that enabled Kwanzaa to have a good season, you know? That I don't care about you. Cool, you're injured. Cool, I don't care though.
Yeah, I don't care.
Like, if anything, I'm happy in it. If anything, bruv,
Yeah, but big man
condolences.
thing though. He is, but these are the little things I look at and I think to myself, like we said about Diaz when you guys mentioned about Klopp killing something in his game. Like, it might not be, obviously Kwanzaa's a centre back, so he's not got this dribbling like Diaz and the freedom of expression. But it might be that in his game that might have been killed, which is that almost like a bit of ruthlessness, that kind of narcissism, a little bit where it's just like, I don't care. Like, he's injured. Obviously, I don't want him to be injured. I'm not wishing him to be injured. But guess what? I get to play now. Bro, off the back of that season, Donny was called up to the national squad for the provisionals and that for the Euros. Do you think he's caring about what Matip retired in that? Bro, he's thinking, bro, this is the best thing that ever happened to me. Like, I'm good right now. So he put, and I miss those kind of characters in football.
Right,
like,
would you okay? Gee, if we had now, right? Say we got someone in there, Jerry. We get, I don't know, just name the striker. We get him in, yeah. Mo does Mo will have a couple mad ones, then he will score. But he has a couple mad one, but he could score it. Are you happy for this striker to go and grab him up and say, "Yo, big man"?
No, 1 million%. Because do you know what it is? There needs to be checks and balances in it in a team.
Yeah.
They need to, bruv. Like, I know what Montz is saying. Big up, you saying nice an ability thing. It's not though, because you see, like, if you know when Roy Keane was on the team, right? Or Carragher was on the team, and there was a thing where you could have squared and you didn't. But they're rushing you in the change room.
Yeah.
100%.
It's not about an ability thing.
100%.
There's checks and balances in it. Like John Terry and them, man, would have rushed you up like Drogba. Do you know what I mean? They're like, what? Are you mad? Like, no, you ain't doing that. You need that in the team, innit? And right now it's a nice team. Everyone's nice. That's why I like the ego and the arrogance that Trent's got and that Verge have got. This is why it's important. Because they've got that wherever you think of them, it's like, brother,
and throwing elbows recently, bro. He's just roughing up everyone.
Hey, I can tell you, he needs to be careful with some of the challenges that he's putting in.
But that's what you need, innit? You need that. I can't have man saying sorry and being like, yeah, we're the nicest team in the league.
Okay, you know what I'm gonna do? What I'm gonna do? Who's on? When's our next match? When are we playing Everton?
Wednesday.
Wednesday.
Okay, it's a derby, right? I'm gonna count. I'm actually gonna spend time and watch it and count how many times any player, says sorry in the game for a misplaced pass, for not shoot. I'm just gonna count it. I'm gonna be, and this is a derby, by the way. So this is like, we're last Merseyside derby at Goodison Park. Like, I just want to see, like, bro, are we really as nice? But to be fair, we're not winning the fair play award thing anymore, though. You know what I'm saying? We're getting 1, 2 red cards.
Dodgy red cards, bro. Some of them are dodgy, bro. Like, some of them we got. Robbo's one there, man, just, you know what I mean, clips, and they weren't dirty. They're not dirty.
Nah,
but, you know what I mean?
Ibu is like the biggest big for nothing brother I've ever seen in my life. Like when I think of people
Be
who
careful what you're saying, bro, because Ibu is the type of guy to watch YouTube videos, bro.
Hey, then he needs to
Rough
come off
you up,
YouTube,
bro.
But what I'm saying for Ibu is this year. Obviously, Ibu is Ibu, right? Does his thing. But when I think of him, I always think to myself, brother, you're not like I feel like you're just big for nothing, bro. Like, I don't feel like you're really about the life that I would assume you would be.
I go opposite. I think he's one of them road man. But he's one of them. He's just one of the guys.
Nothing to do with that. Like, as in, that doesn't even bother me in the slightest.
Well, he's saying he's one of them, man. One of them, man. That in the change room when.
Yeah.
What you saying when Slot's going from the tea talk, man, just getting up. And Slot's like, what are you doing? Focus. He's like, oh, sorry, boss. Sorry, boss. Sorry, guys.
I don't know. Like, I don't know. Obviously, listen. I don't know these men like outside of football, right? but they don't. He don't give me that energy. By the way, that is tapped, you know. He don't give me that energy. The thing is, even it's so well, like makes you think like, Raz, you actually don't know the hand just like I don't know, he doesn't give me a vibe of like I don't know, like, and again, listen, I could be if you are watching this, I could be like miles wrong, like miles off it, right? And I apologize for that. No, I lied, I don't, but I hear what you're saying. I'm just thinking in my eyes, like I don't know, like sometimes you give off this kind of like impression that you're too nice with it, like you're a bit too nice. I don't really
serious,
know.
man.
IG, quick question. You know when he did that video when he was in the hood, did you rate his hood? Did you?
I'm done.
I ain't trying to be on screen. You man trying to do that. Where he did, no. I ain't trying to do that.
No. It was a cold video. Like I liked the premise of the
video, bro. I know the hood there, bro. That's not true.
No. Listen. This is what I'm saying. In France, I know them. In France, them man are like I know what them man are about. They get busy over there. Like it's the realness. But
now you're a waste man for that one, Jerry.
Anyway, let's
when his boy pulled up in the Clio and on that Louis Vuitton thing, and it was like, yeah, that's definitely Ibu's bag. And then I'm looking at that. There was no goons in his hood. You know, like I've seen a couple man in Paris, they pull up and the goons are there. I was like, man, this looked a bit friendly. Looked like a playground.
You know, like I was thinking maybe they hired some people like to just be in. Listen,
he just got his close brethren, man, and they brought a couple of brethren to a park, bro. That ain't.
Hey, I don't know, man. Let's even move. Sorry, on Nunes, you guys sell or keep it, man. Sell or keep.
Yeah, sell, man.
Jerry.
Oh, Nunes, come on,
John.
Do you know what it is? Caveat. Sorry to interrupt, John. No. If he's the number 9 that ripped off him, he gets a number 47 or something, 45. Do you know what I mean? It makes 9. Do you know what I mean? You had 4 and 5, it makes a 9. No. But if he gets that number 45 and you're just on the bench and you're just a backup guy, but Liverpool got the money to invest on someone else, I don't care. He can stay on the bench because he's proved when he comes on, he can affect games, innit? Like just the type of footballer he is, that chaos can be useful, but not as a starter. If it means we can't sign someone, sell him.
27, bro. Like number 27 was calm.
45, change it. 45, bro.
No, honest answer though, man. Then if he still had the 27, would we care? Is it the 9 that's brought the extra bit of?
No, it has. It has brought an extra.
Yeah. Like it makes me think like you can't, like you yourself cannot be number 9. Like you can be number 27, and I feel like that'll be more of a reflection upon you as a player. Because you're like the 27th best player that we've got. That's the way I look at it. But when we talk about like number, we talk about number 9. I'm like, nah. You see number 9, like that's like hold on. What? Let me check. What number is Chris Wood,
bro? 11, 9 or 11? 9. He was number 11.
Do you know what I mean? Like even Chris Wood deserves to be like number 9, like because of what he
might
done.
Put the 9 and start moving shaky as well, bro. Sometimes your number suits you, bro.
True.
Keep your number.
All right. Last player that I wanted to take a look at before we head on out. Guys, big up to everybody who's been locked in this evening. There's been jokes. Big up Sam, big up Enny in the building, big up Monts in the building, big up everyone actually in the damn building. This brother's only played 106 minutes. You know what? Sorry, I didn't even look at that correctly. He's only played 25 minutes in the Premier League. He's played 106 in the Champs, 135 in the FA Cup, and 104 in the League Cup. That's a total of 370 minutes.
No, I'm looking at he's got a GA in one of the competitions apart from the Prem.
I mean, he's played 25 minutes. I'll be surprised if he did get a GA in the Premier League, to be fair. But I don't even want to ask like sell him or anything. I don't feel like anyone's gonna be like, nah, just get rid of him. No. When you look
get rid, bro. Get rid.
It's done, man. It's done.
Oh, shit. Okay. I was trying to give you the benefit.
This is what you man said about Gravenberch, and all of a sudden now you want to.
No.
I don't think it was this bad.
I will argue, bro. I will argue, G. I'm gonna argue, bro. If you don't allow me this moment to speak, these men said sell him for 30 million, after 6 months. This is what they're doing now, bro.
No, okay. Can I come back on that? what I think, I'm
Nah,
not
man, them
disagreeing
wanna
with your
fuck him off
your
like
point.
you're his bridging, man.
No, no,
Yeah,
no, no,
bro,
no,
I
no,
know
no, no,
you
no,
lot,
no, no,
bro.
no, no, no,
Said you
no,
were grabbing Birch's fan. I see you guys with your thumbnails.
no, 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 no. Hear what I'm
Yeah,
saying.
there, man.
You're right in terms of people wanted to sell Gravenberch last season. I don't disagree. Yes, because they didn't feel like he was good enough. But I don't think he had 10 games at this point and was only playing 370 minutes, bro.
It
wasn't
wasn't even
that.
the
That
minutes.
wasn't
Man
the
said he
reason.
weren't good enough anyway, bro. I get the minutes thing, and I'm not gonna argue that, bro.
Yeah.
The man ain't been fit to play. I don't know the reason, whether he can't hack it, his body, whatever. I don't care. But when man was playing, man said after 6 months, like, yo, this I don't think this brother has it, bro. He's too weak, he's too lazy, he can't win an aerial draw. I remember all of these things, bro. Now I'm seeing man then pretending as if they were always on his side. I don't trust no one now with their commentary on players, bro. Man, they just
Bro,
chat
I'm
their
not gonna
shit,
lie.
bro.
I said I would accept an offer in it. I said I would accept an offer, and yeah, the next managers come in. But if it was under Klopp, I wouldn't want to see Gravenberch, bro.
Well, okay, no, hold on. We can't even try to erase history, yeah, because let's not act like Klopp that Slot went out of like 1 to 2 signed someone to play that position. So we can't act like this was a foregone conclusion. Like, yeah, he was always gonna come. Like, I don't see that was never happening, bro. Like, man wanted another player in that position. He didn't want Gravenberch, but I rate Gravenberch because he's done his thing since coming into the team. So that's where I'll big him up. Of course, bro, he's been one of the best midfielders in the world. Like, you can't deny that. But let's not act like at the beginning of the season we weren't looking at Zubimendi. And I promise you, ENDZ, you remember, Jerry, you remember when we were doing the streams at the beginning of the season, pre-season, and we're looking at our potential 11. I didn't see, maybe ENDZ did, to be fair. I didn't see no one have Gravenberch in their 11. Nobody. You wouldn't have. Why would you have Gravenberch?
No one did. No one did.
Do you get what I'm trying to say? Like, you wouldn't know because in your head you were going off the basis of what he did last season before that, and whatever, which is fair. But now, obviously, he's the first name on the fucking team sheet alongside.
Here's the problem, bro, because he knew he had the talent, and obviously we're talking about Chiesa. Yeah. I'm just like, bro, just give the brother the time, bro. Like 6 months, I get it, man. He ain't played in it. I get it. But
do you see the talent in Chiesa? That's what I'm trying to find out. You see with Grav, you saw like the little drop of the shoulder. And
no, but I'm not looking at what he's done so far. I'm looking at the body of work before that. There's not enough body of work at Liverpool for me to just throw him off and say he's not good enough. I've seen what he was doing before. The body of work is there. If we can replicate that, and I don't know if it's gonna happen. But as soon as a player has only played a couple of minutes, bro, we're just like, nah, get this guy out of it. And then we flip-flop back in a couple of months and then pretend that, like, as if, like, nah, do you know what? I actually rate him now. And then you're going to sell me as if, oh, yeah, nah, you know what? I can change my mind. I can adjust my thoughts. No, bro. Like, shut up, man. I don't want to hear it, bro. The Gravenberch one hurt me last year about, he's not good enough. He can't do this. He's lazy, blah,
You're
blah,
taking it too personally, bro.
Nah, I do, bro. Because when I see
read the rules,
it's sounding too deep, bro. It's sounding too deep.
Cool. End.
Like it, bro.
What's Chiesa?
I'm seeing the man.
You were right. You know, just to make it clear, just to make ENDZ was right. ENDZ was right.
That's why, you know, we win the Prem. You see some man, if we win the Prem, I don't want you man to celebrate, bro. Just sit there and shut up, bro.
Bro,
relax,
bro. This is 12 a.m., bro. Quick one. When we're talking about Chiesa,
bro.
Bro, Bondi's.
When we're talking about Chiesa, ENDZ, what's his? What do you think is his best attribute?
He's finishing.
At his best.
Finishing and tenacity.
And the pace,
he can score off his both. I think he can score left foot or right foot.
And the pace, innit?
Yeah, he's got speed.
Yeah, the pace and the tenacity is gone, bro. So now you're expecting his finish has got to be, because I'm telling you now.
Now you know what?
I'm telling you now. This is scary from him. You know, this is scary. It's not. I'm not looking at. This is worse than Nunes. Like, it's worse than Nunes. Let's keep it a buck. If we had spent 90 million on this,
oh god,
bro, like this is worse than Nunes. It's not even about when he's available. He can't.
I'm not going to tell anyone who they want in the team or not in it, but I'm just saying,
he can't press.
It's still too early to just throw him out like that.
I'm a Fabio Bruini press better than him, bro. I can't lie.
Do you know why? Because I know when we go back and examine it in the 6 months, you man are going to be telling me like, yo, my days, man, Chiesa, blah blah blah, and I ain't going to hear it as well, man. I ain't gonna hear it. I swear to you.
You know, you're
No,
so
but
lucky.
and
Yeah,
out of all the
that he's
forwards,
having.
out of all the
Because if
forwards that are
Gravenberch
available,
fell off again, bro, it would have been peak, you know, in terms of Gravenberch and just even him in general, bro. Like I
No,
promise
but I
you.
knew how good he was, bro, and how
No,
bad
no,
it was.
okay.
How bad it was,
knew-
Eddie? You remember when I said who I would wanted in that centre midfield because I said Thuram, right?
Yeah,
When I was saying Kefrim Thuram was the reason, and I said the reason why we don't have a presence, we don't have someone that can get the ball and turn and drive it forward. We don't have that type of style of midfielder that we're gonna play there. Lo and behold, because obviously we've been using Gravenberch in more of a forward, yeah, we put him in there, bro. Did exactly what I wanted a Kefrim Thuram to come in and do. See it, bro, and it works. It works, bro. That's all it is. Gravenberch has always had the talent, bro. He just wasn't playing. He was the same at Bayern, not getting no minutes, bro. None at all. Come to Liverpool, couldn't fit in. Took him a year to get up to speed with the Premier League. You saw some decent performances. The problem we have with Chiesa, he's not been fit enough. He didn't have a preseason. The man I'm like asking how long does it take for someone to get fit? Yeah, for people that don't know nothing about professional sports, bro. Yeah, sometimes it takes different because different body types. He might just every time we put him through certain things, he might just break down again. You invest in him, so you have to take your time. He's an investment, bro. So 6 months, you're like, nah, get the guy out of here. He ain't got it. That's crazy to me, bro.
Was he the right type of investment though for us? Because it's like, why take? I know he only cost 13 mil, but it's like, couldn't there have been other forwards that we could have took a bank on?
Of course there is, but the manager opted for this guy, bro. That's what they went for.
I don't believe Scott.
We can't do that because when we went for Zubimendi, we weren't saying, oh, maybe he didn't want him either. We didn't say that. So we have to keep it 100. We got him. The manager had to sign it off, or the manager's going to be like, yeah, what?
I don't think it's as simple as.
I don't think he wanted Zubimendi then.
Okay, that's fine. That's your opinion. I just don't think that Slot looked at Chiesa and said, you know what, I could do with this guy being in the squad, whatnot. He may not have preseason. It's gonna cause a delay, but I'll take it. I don't believe that. I do not believe that. Absolutely not.
Yeah, the manager. There's no way in a professional game, man, they ain't signing off on players, bro. There might be some clubs like that, but I don't see that happening at Liverpool Football Club. You get a manager in and you just sign the players and say use them. That's what we want to do at Liverpool.
You know the thing.
That means he might not have even wanted Zubimendi then. Maybe they just wanted to sign him and put it in. Maybe that's what we wanted to do then.
I mean, at the end of the day, we
doesn't want we just sign him and say use him. Maybe that's what we wanted to do.
At the end of the day, we don't really know how the club actually run day to day in regards to whether they sign off players and whatnot. But just given from how he's handled Chiesa and the whole situation, that he just doesn't. He's not for us, man. He's just not for us. It's just plain and simple. There's not much to.
When he said if Chiesa if he was fitter, then Mo wouldn't have played as many minutes as he had been.
I don't believe that.
But that's what he said. So how can you not believe that?
I don't believe that.
But that's what I mean. We pick and choose and what we want to hear from the manager, bro. That's why I can't agree with, bro. If he says something, you have to believe it. I can't just read between the lines and go, it means something different. That's crazy, bro.
We would never know anyway until Chiesa gets back to a level of fitness that allows. My thing with Chiesa is, I just think that where you didn't spend so much money on him, the club will just look at it like it's really probably not that deep for them at this moment in time. Unless he obviously gets a mad injury like between now and the end of the season, as an example. Fair enough, then they might want to cut their losses. But I feel like they will just end up keeping him. Like I don't feel like his position is under threat at this moment in time, because the reality is, as N said,
because he has no position.
Say that again.
He has no position. That's what he said.
Yeah, you could say that as well. Like he ain't really got a position like that. But the reality is this: where he hasn't played, and you didn't really spend that kind of dough on him. I look at Case and I just think, I'll be real, more time I just don't even think about you. Like when I'm trying to do like teams and what 11 should play in our predicted more time, just because he ain't really been here. So to judge him, I'm like, I don't have a judgment for him. I'm just like, you're just there. Like, I don't think you're shit. I don't think you're good. I just think you're just there.
Do you know what?
I don't
You know
have
what?
any opinion real on you, like, if I'm being honest.
Played
You know
what,
what it is? You
25
know what it is,
minutes,
Chief?
25
Like,
minutes in the Prem, 135 in the FA Cup, what 104 in the League Cup, and the Champions League's played 106. And he's got a contribution in each of those tournaments he's played apart from the Premier League with the minutes he had off the bench.
Yeah. This,
you know what? There's not really much to go off on
that's the problem.
on the stats that he has. And I don't even really blame him. I don't even blame him. I'm also just blaming the club because I just think this signing was pretty ridiculous, to be honest with you. Very ridiculous. It goes under the radar only because of how well we've been this season. But if this was another scenario where maybe we're just fighting for top, or kind of in a battle for top 4, then this topic would be very much highlighted a lot. But at the same time, I don't blame 𝐒𝐁𝐄 at all. I just think that it's just total. I just think it's stupid from the club that we signed him.
He definitely takes some blame. A player who's been injured this much has to start taking a level of responsibility behind some of these things happening. Whether that is manager has rushed you back and you've decided to just come back. I get all of that because you want to play and you don't want to miss time out. But there is a level of responsibility that comes with you missing the amount of games you've missed in your career. Forget Liverpool, just in your entire career. Now, of course, not every injury you get is just, oh, that's your fault. Of course not. But those little ones, like a Jota, for example, the ones where you've kind of come back and then it's happened again. I'm like, yeah, I'm starting to look more at you than I am management, purely because the reality is you know your body better than the management does. So you know what you can and can't realistically do, i.e. 𝐒𝐵 𝐾, him coming back the other day, playing with the what do you call it, the knee brace or whatever. He understood that I'm not 100% fit. If he got injured again, that's on him. That ain't on Slot. That's not on the like he told them, I'm not 100% fit, but I'm going because he saw we were in a mad situation. I think someone had to come off and he just said, Gomez, exactly. So I can't then, like, I can't be mad at Slot and be like, oh, why did you play, man? Bro, he said he can play. The manager is going to pick the best play. Like, he's going to pick him if he feels he can play. He doesn't know man's body like that. So if someone's telling you, no, Gaffer, I can come on. Curtis Jones, another prime example, too ill to play the other day against Plymouth. I know my body. I know if you ask me to come on, it's just going to look, well, it's going to be absolutely mental. If anything, it's going to do more harm than good to the team. Let me not come on. What does he do? I don't bring on Curtis Jones. That's why he doesn't play. So same thing with 𝐾𝐁𝐄, same thing with 𝐒𝐿. And maybe 𝐒𝐿 is probably even saying it, like, potentially, I don't know the conversations. Maybe 𝐒𝐿 sat there and said, Gaffer, right now, I'm just not there. So I don't want to harm the team. When we're doing well, we don't need me to come in necessarily. It's not like we're in a situation where, like, bruv, 𝐒𝐿, like, we just need you to play, bro. Like, we have nobody else who can play. Then that would be different. Then he might, try and come back in, play more games and etc. So it's on both sides, man. Like, in terms of the injury stuff, sometimes, like, not in every injury, but in some of the injuries, I do look at and think this is a.
He's been back for a while now as well, but we ain't even using him.
Yeah.
Always slapping him. You could have brought him on in that one to cook, bro. Bare space. Spurs were getting smoked up and said, "Nah, sit on the bench and smile, bro." The man threw him in against Plymouth and said, "Yeah, run it."
Yeah, it's like, listen, we'll see more. We'll see more about things. I'm gonna wrap it up here anyway. Obviously, I was just messing around and I was like, like I tried to go through players. Like, if I could sign players, what kind of players would I sign? Like, just in a general sense, I had like Isak. I saw Osimhen. I was like, yeah, I would sign an Osimhen. Gyökeres. Gyökeres was more like, I'm a bit more iffy still with that, brother. I'm not 100% convinced like that. Kane, obviously, if I could get someone like him, obviously my favorite player. I saw Adeyemi, yeah, and obviously he looked like he was going to go to Napoli, but can't remember what happened with that deal. He was he's another one in the category of maybe, but go back to ENDZ's point, the numbers thing. At some point, he ain't going to get those Salah numbers, so he'll get the same numbers as like a Diaz or a Gakpo. So would you be happy with that? Probably not, because if you're not happy with what Diaz is getting, for example, then Did you know what I mean? Are you going to be happy with what someone like Adeyemi, Nico Williams, same thing?
Baller, bro.
Yeah, oh, bro. Of course, come on, man.
Yeah, that's the one
like,
you get.
He's another one. I'm like, I don't even know. Like, I'm hoping that you can break that mold of my thinking in terms of the numbers that you may potentially get. But for me, you'll be fine. I don't really care. But it will just be
more be an assist for me. I think he would get a hell of a lot of assists. I think we need. Yeah, if he gets in the area to shoot, I think
that's my guy. That's my guy.
I feel like we should have signed him when he was still at Lyon, and I'm
100%.
very annoyed watching him play now.
100%.
I'm like, brother, why didn't you buy this, brother? Like, well,
I'm not surprised.
Doing well in the French league, man.
Are there any attackers? Rodrigo again. That was more like, he's such a weird player. I feel like this brother can pop up with important goals in a season, but I almost don't rate him enough, like, to be like, yeah, go and sign Rodrigo. I don't know what it is about him, bro. Like, I'm not saying he's shit about it, just something about him that makes me think, nah, you're not really that good.
Yeah, because you don't know where is his best fit for him. Like,
yes.
Where is he best fitted? Like left, right? What?
Yeah.
Like, what are you?
Yeah,
Obviously, he's a winger, but like, what is he? What, like?
I think he's a very, very, very good player. I just don't know whether he can be one of the main guys.
Like, obviously, by the way, all these players I'm just showing you guys, it's just me mucking around. But more so, if say like a Salah was to like leave or anything like that, if I looked at someone like him,
I think we'll need that an extra.
Say that again.
I think we'll need that another extra alongside.
Yeah,
like, you know what I'm saying? I don't think him alone wouldn't really, it wouldn't plaster the blow if we when we lose Salah at this point. Like, it couldn't just be him. We need someone else alongside him to kind of fill the mantle. You know what I'm saying?
But yeah, man, those are the players. And even to your point, Ravi, I'm not saying he's not good enough. I just said I just don't like. He's just someone I'm still very iffy about. If I was just going based on what I saw in the Portuguese league, I also saw Nunes, and that still scars me till today. But it's not even actually just like in terms of him coming from the Portuguese league. You got to understand, with that league and the players that seem to come over to the Premier League, not many are coming over and flourishing, especially strikers. In fact, when I even think about strikers that leave Portugal, maybe you'd have to go back in time a little bit. But when I'm thinking of recent time, you know, the João Felix, Gonzalo Ramos at PSG, like I look at some of them, yeah, you know what I mean? I look at some of them and think, yeah, like they were good in Portugal, but then they leave Portugal and come this side of Europe. It's a bit kind of sticky for them. They're not really doing their thing, man. And 𝐒𝐃 is another one, and I just think to myself, maybe he can be this mad striker, and people should just be like, yo, go sign him. But he wouldn't be my first choice or second choice. In fact, I don't think he'd even be my third or fourth choice.
Arsenal need a striker. Chelsea need a striker. Man United need a striker. And not one of them is bidded for him.
Yeah. And that kind of maybe speaks itself.
Tells you enough, bro.
Yeah.
That should tell you enough. Like, we're going to go and get a striker, but we got two at the moment, and we'll look to obviously invest in the summer. But they actually need strikers right now. And these men ain't even thinking about breaking the bank, even with the numbers this man is doing right now. That should just tell you enough. That should just say, right, like what, 60-something goals in 60-something games, and they're like, nah, we'll just rather wait. That's mad.
Bro, listen, the summer's going to be hella interesting. We'll wait and see. Big up Quasi in the building. And even, like I said, Ravi, to your point, never ever speak on things you don't know. Like, I'm not one of the ones who watched him just this season against Arsenal. Like, we've been watching 𝐒𝐃 for a minute. Big up to Michael Talks, actually, because he was the one who was telling me, like, nah, like, he'd been trying to convince me about him. So I said, I have to actually watch this brother to really know, like, if I think he can do it at this level kind of thing. And I'm still, like, I'm so iffy with it. Like, if we signed him, I'm not going to say, oh, my days, why the hell did you just sign him? He's that type of signing. But if you told me we're going to get Isak or Osimhen or Harry Kane, I'll be like, yes. Immediately, I'm thinking, okay, yeah, like these are the type of brothers you know, that we should really be investing. But listen, we'll wait and see, man. Summer's a long way away. We still got a season to kind of play.
Hey, see what 𝐒𝐔𝐁𝐒 saying?
Bruv, listen, he's already been to court enough times, but right, we ain't got them sources and that. I don't know. You have to ask him. If them sources are true.
I ain't released it yet, man. But yeah, it's there still. The interest is there.
The interest is
The
there.
interest. Him and Shesko are the two, innit?
Oh, that buzzword.
Yeah, the interest is there, bro. When it lands, bro, we'll speak about it.
You got anything lined up for tomorrow? I don't know if you got previews or anything like that.
I don't know, man. I might do a Gravenberch video, man. Just celebrate Gravenberch's success, you know what I mean? Speak about the guys that said, yeah, sell him for 30 mil, man. Dead food. Lazy in that.
Hey, you heard it here first. John, love for jumping in this evening. Jerry, I know you had to leave. Big up to the gaffer. As always, people, guys, enjoy the rest of the evening's done. We're into the next day now. So, guys, get to bed, relax, chill. And, guys, just remember, yeah, we are top of the league. So, I don't think it's as deep as everyone's making out, you know. So, let's just chill, see how things go. And if there needs to be a meltdown, obviously, we'll be there, innit? But if there's no need for a meltdown, hey, these same players are the ones who are getting us, you know what I mean, to the top of the league, top of the Champions League, through to the next round, etc., etc. I did not know Madrid City tomorrow. Yes, I might do a watch.
That's gonna be mad. Hey, let's do thing in it. What's it called?
Should we do that?
Yeah, might as well. Oh yeah, the video I did today, guys, go and watch it, man. It was interesting still.
Let me even put the link. Let me get the link.
I don't know. I've been doing a lot of like pre-recorded video. I'm following G's footstep, man, and these guys, man. It's
don't listen to Hollywood ends, you know.
No, it's because of like time-wise now, bro. Like I'm trying to get so much done here, and it's just mad.
Mm-hmm.
It's so mad, bro. So the recorded videos are like the best thing I can manage right now, man.
Guys, it's there in the chat.
Appreciate that, bro.
Go and watch, please go and watch ENDZ's latest video for me, please. And yeah, just keep your notification bells on, man. Keep your notification bells on. If ENDZ does a stream, then great. And then we might do the watch along, I guess, for the Madrid versus.
Shit, man, that'll be jokes, bro.
Yeah, that's gonna be two mid-offs, like two teams will be. Well, like Madrid have been okay recently. To be fair, I have to give them their props. They've been okay recently. But man,
that round, boy, them stresses.
Hey, hands up if your team's through to the next round of the Champions League, man. Hey.